going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I am your host, Nick, and I have survived Mother's Day. Give it up for me.
He did. He did a great job surviving.
It's a pass or fail situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? Or is it like a letter grade in your mind?
Well, no, sometimes it's like, oh, like the morning was really great. And then like it kind of just became a normal day after that, you know, which is like on my birthday, on Mother's Day. I guess those are really just like my holidays, you know, like I want from sun up to sundown to be like, no one stops talking about how great I am, you know?
Fair.
And Nick did a great job of that. Very quickly at night, I did ask for 3 minutes of being inside of each other's skin, and he allowed 3 minutes.
Did we set a timer?
Oh, second it hit 10:12, he was like, all right.
It was 10:09. She's like, until 10:12. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a normal snug. I like a snug. It was
a smug.
Inside your skin?
This was a suffocation. I had to hold my breath for 3
Were you on a couch?
We were in bed.
So it's cozy.
Yeah.
Sierra, thank you for picking up the gift.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
No.
I thought that was Cindy who was doing all of that.
No, I asked Sierra.
You asked Sierra?
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not, at this stage of her season life that Cindy's in, I don't know if sending her to Beverly Hills is the move.
Right.
And I got a free glass of champagne, so
Did you?
you're welcome.
Period.
Period.
Period. No, I woke up and Nick let me sleep in.
Till what time?
And we love. He let me do that last year.
What time did you sleep into?
8.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
wow.
good.
Real late.
8.
I didn't wake her up.
8. No, well, you did bring River
That's
in.
true. I
You
brought
did.
River in with the
So you
gift.
did wake me up. You literally woke me up. You brought River in and she went, Mama! And you said, Happy Mother's Day, we have a gift. And you gave me a card and a present, and Rivy gave me...
Correction, it was 8:45. I know this because I looked at the clock and I said, well, River's going to have to go down for her nap soon. And I imagine Mom's going to want to see daughter before she goes down for her first nap.
What time does River wake up?
6:15-ish, give or
She
take.
has a 6 a.m. She'd wake up and then she goes down for a nap at like 9:30,
Oh,
like an
wow.
hour and a half.
Regimented.
It is. So I had this very beautiful card that was written. Who picked out the card?
I did.
You got that card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
It was just an interesting looking card. There was like an
To
owl.
be just totally
on the-
honest, it was
There
just
was like an owl on the
there was a
front.
wall of Mother's Day
It wasn't
cards,
me.
and I was like, there was a wall of Mother's Day cards, and I went, eeny, meeny, miny, and I'll take this one. And I
There was a bedazzled owl on the front, and at first I was like,
Didn't
"Is
know
this
that.
even a Mother's Day card?" It might have said like "Happy Groundhog's Day" or something. I'm not sure, but it was very.
You're a hoot.
Yeah,
well, our daughter
literally,
was
you're
born
a
on
hoot. Happy
Groundhog's Day,
Mother's
so that would have.
Oh, she
You're a
was.
hoot. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, and it was very beautiful written card. Nick wrote a very sweet message, and River also wrote me a sweet message. It's very hard to
Aw.
get her to write these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if she's left or right-handed. We switched hands.
Yeah.
Um, 'cause
We don't know
it-
what feels more natural yet. I just did it for our moms.
We're like, hold this.
She's like, no.
Literally, she's like this.
Oh, wait, she actually wrote it?
Yeah, we like hold her
Oh.
hand
I hold her
around the
hand,
pin and
yeah.
like.
I thought you were saying
write
Nick
it.
wrote it because sometimes the parents will switch their hand.
No.
No,
Okay.
we like
That's cuter.
hold the pin in River's hand and try to.
That's cute.
write
Okay.
it. It's sweet.
I wanted to know if Nick did a like choreographed dance for you.
No.
No,
That's
I did
what everybody
not
has to do on Mother's
get
Day.
any choreographed dance. Not 1
Mm.
ounce of it. But I did get a Bottega bag,
And she's cute.
and she's here, and she's present.
How did you feel when you opened it?
Oh my God. Well, okay. So this is the thing. I have already, about 2 months ago, I secured Nick's Father's Day gift.
Mm.
So Nick knows when Mother's Day is, any day of the year, right? It's same day each year. And so it's like he could pick
It's
out,
not actually, but sure.
well, around the same time.
Yeah.
So he has forever to like find a gift and pick out a gift. It could be something sweet. It could be something nothing. And so
This
he-
is what it
he-
costs you when you don't give something from the heart.
So I have an ongoing wish list
Mhm.
that I add things to that's like, oh, one day I would love to own this, whether like I work hard enough to like be able to afford it myself, or if like maybe there's a day where Nick wants to spoil me or something. I don't know. And he had to take it to the notes app, the wish list, because he waited very, very last minute. Obviously, Sierra had to go and pick up the
Well,
gift,
I gotta say, if
so-
I would have, I did not, I
Yeah.
Big mistake on wedding planning, for one.
On wedding planning?
Yeah.
Okay, you lost me.
Well, loved our wedding.
Yeah.
Wedding falls on the weekend of the NFL draft first.
Yeah.
It also happens to be 2 weeks before Mother's Day.
Mm.
So, like, I'm back to back from, like, Jesus Christ. I don't even get a fucking break.
And
Did you
Stagecoach.
plan that?
Let's be honest. It's not like the anniversary is really about me,
No.
you know?
No.
Because, like, a pat on the back, would probably do it for me, you know?
Or a bottega bag,
Hang in there.
It's the
You're doing
same.
okay.
You got a gold ring.
I did. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
And then we went to the Brentwood Country Mart and had a wonderful afternoon at
We
the
did.
Brentwood Country Mart and had brunch and shopped, and River got a croissant and she saw all these dogs and she was like running up and hugging strangers and making their lives, and it was just a wonderful afternoon. And then we had a smother session at night. So it was perfect.
Perfect
It
Mother's
was
Day.
great. It was great. We have a great week lined up. It's really starting to get crazy, guys. I don't think you're ready for such drama, excitement, and just groundbreaking programming. But in a moment, Tom Schwartz will grace us with his presence. Get a little catch up with Tommy boy. And then tomorrow, we have a huge going deeper. Miranda Hope McWhorter, the new member of Mom Talk, the new member of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, does grace us with her presence to talk about her version of the swinging scandal, why she decided to join this cast, and all the drama that is already unfolding for season 2, which premieres Thursday. The season 2 of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives premieres on Thursday, and then Demi and her husband Brett will join us for an appearance on Reality Recap. The ladies then follow us next week. We got a whole bunch of the ladies on next week for Reality Recap. It's going to be jam-packed, a lot to dive into. I'm not ready for everything that's going on. I saw them last weekend. They had a big event. I hosted a panel that they were on.
How was that?
It was great. It was great to see them all. Yeah, it's when a lot of the girls say, I'm friends with everyone. Well, most of them.
Very awkward. A lot of awkward
There's
silences.
a lot of family. Well,
These girls are-
they're fighting.
Was the panel like an upfront, or was it a premiere of like a couple of the episodes?
It was a
It
premiere
was a
of the
showcase
first episode.
of the first. They screened the first episode for a large audience.
And then it was
Like
also for
Q&A?
Emmy consideration.
Emmy consideration.
Oh, they need
Okay.
A
it.
4-year
Period.
consideration party.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
And
So-
and Nick hosted the panel, and I don't think I've ever screamed louder to carry an audience anytime Nick said anything. I was like, wow!
Oh, that was you. Oh, I wasn't. No.
No, it was all of us, but I started it because once I did it,
Yes,
then
of
everyone was like,
course.
oh yeah,
Okay. Well, thank you for the support.
You're
Yeah.
welcome, Brittany.
Aw,
What was it that you wanted to talk about, River, watching
Disney
TV?
movies.
Oh well, now that I'm
You
watching,
started that.
I'm watching some Disney movies. First time I've seen Frozen.
I
I
love
also
Frozen.
watched Aladdin for the first time in a long time. Gotta say, doesn't hold up.
Doesn't hold up.
No.
What?
No,
Yeah,
can't
sorry.
agree.
R.I.P. Robin Williams. His parts slam. Awesome.
Mhm.
Robin is great. Made me laugh anytime the genie popped up. But honestly, the storyline, if you're gonna make Jafar a genie, you get 3 more wishes. Why did they kick him to the Cave of Wonders? Like they should have I don't know, the storyline. And also it's just like Jasmine's a little too like sexy for like a kid's movie. It's just a
That's
little
my
weird.
princess of choice.
Fine. I don't know. Like
It's not
it's
her
too much
fault.
adult humor. I don't know. Like something about the old school Cinderellas, the Snow Whites. They just seem more simple, for the kiddos.
Aladdin was old school.
Yeah, but it was like 1990. It was like the first.
That's not old school.
In the,
I'm
in the
talking about
90s.
1955.
Okay, valid.
And then there was, but Frozen,
Oh,
awesome.
I love Frozen.
Really, really great. I have never seen it. Certainly, I've heard the hype over the years of all the kiddos and the past generations really loving that.
Mhm.
Made me cry a little bit.
hmm
For the first time, I really wanted River to have a sister.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well-
and I got a little choked up. That's how I let off my emotions. Yeah.
Crying to Disney movies.
Well, just like commercials, like happy moments on movies or TV shows. That's how I release my, pent up rage and emotions,
That's your inner child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how people always talk about how men just like push down their
Yeah.
emotions, which I think is honestly, hot take, like somewhat appropriate. I don't think we need to be crying all the time about everything. I think, sometimes our feelings are our business and not everyone else's. I'm just saying. But every once in a while, we do have to release. And for me, it's a good, happy moment on TV. And I will shed a tear, I'll wipe it, and I'll move on with my day. And that allows me to stay sane in
I was
life.
gonna say, what % of rage does that clear out? The one glistening tear.
Not whatever, just emotion, trauma, just everything that's going on in my life that I just push it down when I see a happy moment, But like the
Our
two
snuggle
sisters,
sessions don't get that out for you.
that's true.
That adds to the
added
trauma.
into it.
Wait, what was your favorite song from Frozen?
I'd probably let it go. I don't know.
It does carry.
Kristen Bell is fantastic in it.
Which one did River like?
She doesn't really watch.
Oh.
It honestly, like the
Honestly,
fact
yeah,
I'm
she-
like Nick, she's doesn't give a fuck about this, and you're like glued to the TV. So like, who's this on for?
Like Frozen.
Like,
Let it go.
she
Let it
could not
go.
care less.
Aw.
She could not. I know it's kind of. I kind of wish she was maybe a little bit more of a iPad baby, but
Does she just walk around during the movie or?
oh yeah, she's just like playing with her toys. She's like really not. She'll like look up every now and then if it's like very colorful or like, but she doesn't like sit and watch. How was your Mother's Day, Leia?
Oh, mine was good. I went to Texas for a bat mitzvah, so it was a big travel day.
Oh my god.
But it was good. It was nice to like be away.
Nick thinks that Karen Reed is.
Well, hold on. Don't. All right.
Nick and I got into it over on Plus.
Hold
so.
on.
Y'all did?
All right. Well, first of all, let's decide. Taylor Swift has finally been subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni's lawyer. We haven't really talked about this case. Our opinions are steadfast. Well, my opinion is steadfast.
No, mine is too.
I believe Natalie's is as well. To me, this shows that Justin's legal team is doing more of the same, which is just trying to bully the other side. Because obviously they want the attention. They want to bring in Taylor Swift. They want to like peel back the curtain. They want to They want her to tell her friends, Ryan and Blake, to like have this go away. And I think it's just more of the same of them trying to make it very difficult to fight this fight. But we will see what
It
happens.
did come out that Blake will testify.
I mean, I imagine a lot of people will testify, including the
really-
alleged witnesses.
I really hope we'll be able to watch like we are the Karen Reed trial because I am loving to like sit at home and watch the case.
So about Karen Reed, and I just, I know there's a lot of people out there very passionate about, and let me just say, I am not as convinced of her innocence as I was last week. That's what I'm saying. What I think after, and listen, what do I haven't been following it like many of you out there who have been, so like, fuck my opinion. I'm a stupid motherfucker, just, I want to clear that up for anyone who just like, wants to like just be triggered by what I'm about to say. But it's just like, here's the thing. I think she has a great legal team. I think there's probably some dirty cops over on the other side. Nothing people have come up with have proven her innocence or have proven that anyone else is responsible for this death. And I just find that overall, it's just way more believable that she was responsible for his death than the defense team's story, which is like a whole group of people conspired together. There's just a bunch of theories. And I don't find their version believable, which is why when you watch that HBO documentary, which is, like why it was like a hung jury, because I think they don't believe their version. It's just more like, but I do think she should be acquitted. I think there's plenty of reasonable doubt. I don't think the state has done their job to prove that she did it. And I think the burden falls on the state. And I think the reason why we have the laws that we have, I think it's upon the government who has essentially unlimited funding. I mean, unless you're a bazillionaire, you're always like the small person. You're the David in the David versus Goliath when you're going against the state, when they have like unlimited resources of taxpayer dollars. So I think the burden's on them. That being said, I just don't it's just.
They didn't check the house where the body was found.
So what?
And whatever
could have
happened
been
to
so
him
much evidence in
happened
there.
inside that house.
That's again, I understand.
The dog injuries on his arm.
So again, you have a bunch of theories. Everyone has theories. I understand there's a bunch of theories and they're salacious. And hey, listen, it's
Those
just
are facts.
it's what are facts?
That he has dog injuries on his arm.
That
they did not go inside
that's not
the
a
house.
fact. That wasn't a fact. That's a dog injury. That's a theory. There was no dog DNA. There was pork. I don't know, dog treats. I get it, but also bacon. Listen, I'm just saying her version. The defense team's version is less believable. It's just less believable. It's more believable that an act of God happened where two drunk people and there was an accident and she knew nothing about it, then it's more believable that a group of people have conspired to kill a guy and in real time, they decided to like, you know what? How should we kill him? We should just let him freeze to death. And like, let's just make sure we Google it to figure
Nick
out.
is really hung up on the like how and I
Because
like,
that was
"There's
my
so
smoking
much more.
gun. That
There's
was the
so
reason-
much more.
She hit him at going 10 miles an hour. He's like a 6
20.
foot tall
24
guy.
But the snowplow guy was like never saw a body.
His story has changed.
From what to what? Oh, you don't know?
I know his story has changed.
But you don't know what it's
Doesn't
changed
matter.
from? Oh, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, it doesn't matter.
Him not seeing something doesn't mean something wasn't there. It means he wasn't looking for it. It means there was a blizzard. I don't know what happened. I'm just saying her innocence is less believable than I thought before.
I have a question.
And I think people just have a bunch of theories.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whenever you're ready to answer my question.
Yep.
Brian Albert is the owner of the house.
Okay. Yep.
The owner of the house.
Yep.
He's a cop.
Owns a German Shepherd.
Owns a German Shepherd. He does. He obviously was in and out of his house constantly after John O'Keefe died, and was taken from his front lawn. And it took 3 weeks to find any sort of taillight. Brian Albert never saw one piece of taillight in his front lawn entire time.
Maybe he wasn't going looking for taillight.
If someone died on your front lawn, you wouldn't be like, let me go out here and look at this.
I understand all that. And again, we can pick it apart and we can come up with all these theories. And I recognize there was bad police work and there was crooked cops that need to be fired and things like that. None of that proves why these group of people, why did they kill him? What's the motive? It's just it's hard to believe that randomly a group of friends decided to kill their friend and they decided to do it by leaving him on the cold. It's cold.
What is sad is that John O'Keefe will never get any sort of
it's far more believable that a woman who has a history of being a little toxic and a little reactive when she's drinking, who was fighting with said boyfriend earlier that day and wanted to break up with he wanted to break up with her, that two drunk people got in a fight. And she had a reactive moment and accidentally hit him unintentionally that ultimately caused his death. And then she tried to cover it up from there. And I believe that she tried
to cover it up.
I actually believe if she did it, she should be charged with murder too, because that means all those alleged phone calls and it was all her knowing what she did, but trying to cover her tracks.
You can't say that she's so drunk that she hit him and didn't know, but then also was so drunk that she
I think she knows.
To mastermind and cover it all up.
I think she's convinced herself she didn't do it. I think she did it, and I think she's convinced herself she didn't do it.
I was like, there's more movies based on a true story of people
I don't know if she did it.
corroborating together to create a crime and cover it up, and none of those people are going to go on there and be like, you know what? I actually got in a fight with John O'Keefe 2 months before this happened, and I told him to go fuck himself. They're not going to say that getting on a stand. So, of course, you're not going to know how they actually felt about this person.
So these entire group of people that allegedly conspired to kill John O'Keefe, as they've looked into their backgrounds.
Didn't conspire? What if just shit went awry that night, and then they all had to make a pact to be
that's called a conspiracy. So they've.
But what I'm saying is they didn't call him over to murder him. There wasn't a conspire. They
conspired to cover up his killing.
Yeah. What if his dog attacked them?
And when they looked into all those people, the only thing they found was that Karen Reed was having the beginnings of an affair with one of those cops that she initiated. And again, it makes way more sense when they drove over to that house that she didn't want to go in that house. And that's probably what started the fight.
But then what about the Jen McCabe thing and calling and her being on the voicemail, calling her sister saying somebody's coming?
That's weird. And I don't know. And again, that doesn't mean they killed
why
them.
is she giving her sister a heads up that now police and ambulance are coming to her house?
I clearly don't know what happened. And it's the state has not proved how it's gone by. The state can't even say for sure that this was a murder, the autopsy. Again, I don't think they've done their job.
So then how can
prove.
you say that if a medical examiner can't?
If you're asking my gut opinion, if you're asking
Sorry, he has a doctorate in homicide.
Disagree with Vic, you're wrong.
Literally. What do you make of the medical examiner who's this was not a homicide?
All I'm saying, it's way more believable that she had something to do with it than these other people. That's what I'm saying.
But a medical examiner doesn't agree with you.
No, a medical examiner is saying that she can't say that this was definitely a homicide versus an accident, or she can't even say exactly how he died.
She said that he was not hit by that car.
Well, what do you make of the DNA, his DNA being on her car?
Honey, they were together for 2 years. What do you mean? Let's search your car for my DNA.
And were they trying to say that there was a hair that was on it, and it was just a hair
through
blowing into the wind?
Through snow melting off of a car.
But we can't plant evidence as cops because that would be crazy. But this 5'6"
Listen,
girl.
I understand there are crooked cops out there, and I imagine the people of this town, Boston, I imagine the Free Karen Reed movement has a lot to do with the pent-up rage that they have, that were a lot of civilians have been victimized by crooked cops. I understand all that, but I'm just saying, when you look at the versions of events and you look at the story that she had something to do with it is just so much more believable than the other one.
I would agree with you if they searched that house that night. But the fact that they didn't, because he's a higher up in the police department, says to me that it was like, nope, everything's fine here. You would
That's
never.
a huge leap of
They would, if there was a dead body in front of my house, there's no way that I could tell cops, you can't come in and look. They're going to get a warrant. They're going to go in. They never attempted to go into that house.
I understand that the fact that he was a cop and the other cops were investigating him, they probably didn't.
Nick,
they didn't.
it's
They
outside of the
probably
cop
didn't do
thing.
I
that.
have a question.
I agree with. They did There was not proper police work, and as a result, she should be acquitted. I don't think they've done their job to prove that she did it.
I have a question.
But I still think she probably did. His best friend is convinced it's her.
Well, that must be true.
I just think
literally.
I think
best
he's
friend.
the
the
one.
best friend.
There's opinion.
Yes, the accountant.
Fuck the medical.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
All right. Just clear. You guys have a bunch of theories that don't prove her innocence. You just have gut feelings.
You have a theory that doesn't prove
Yeah.
that
I'm
she's
not-
guilty.
I'm not saying she definitely did it. I'm saying her version is less believable than
To
theirs.
you.
Of course.
To
Yes.
you,
This is
not
my
to me.
opinion.
I have a
Yeah,
question.
Sure. That's
But I don't have to agree.
I'm not
And I don't.
that's not what I'm saying. You're saying you know she's innocent.
I'm not saying I know she's innocent, but I think she's more so innocent than she is.
Okay. I'm sorry, my love.
What if in that house there was a baseball bat and there was blood on the ground?
Yeah, it's possible.
And it would make
what
sense
if there's
for
a vampire in there that
No,
did it?
seriously, and it would
Yeah.
make sense that that's why the skull fracture, that he was hit by something.
Yeah.
And then there's blood
It's
on
possible.
the ground from
Mhm.
and they since they didn't search that house, they got rid of that baseball bat and they cleaned up that blood.
Yeah. Listen, that's definitely possible. Possible that any one of those people did it. It's possible that he hit himself with a baseball
Okay,
bat.
so it's also possible that Karen Reed didn't do it.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Absolutely
Case closed.
possible.
Tom Schwartz is here, everybody.
Quins. You know how much we love Quins because we have been wearing Quins for, some time now, and we love them because they really have everything you could possibly want. You want variety in your life? Quins has that. You want your basics? Quins has that as well. You want top-notch quality products at a great price? Well, Quins absolutely has that for you.
I can't tell you how much I reach for all of my Quince items in my closet. They truly are my staples. All of my great white t-shirts, my great black t-shirts. They have amazing cashmere sweaters from $50. That's impossible to find anywhere else. All of Quince's items are priced 50 to 80% less than what you'll find at similar brands. Quince also works directly with top artisans, and cutting out the middleman, Quince gives you the luxury pieces without crazy markups, which in this day and age, that is hard to come by. One of my favorite pieces of Quince that I constantly am reaching for is their organic cotton micro rib crew neck tee. It's the perfect tee. The slim cut, slightly cropped length, and classic crew neckline provide a flattering, close to the body fit that's perfect for layering with that cashmere sweater, or wearing it solo.
Elevate your closet with Quins. Go to quins.com/VIALL for free shipping on your orders and 365-day returns. That's Quins, QUINCE.com/VIALL for free shipping and 365-day returns. But you probably won't want to return it because you will love it. Quins.com/VIALL. Summer's around the corner, and we are already planning our next getaway, and we love using points for travel, and we are always looking for ways to earn more. Here's a life hack. Pay rent with Built to earn flexible, transferable points and unlock exclusive benefits along the way.
There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent. Every month, no matter where you live or who your landlord is, your rent now works for you. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, free mats or towels at your favorite fitness studios, and unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for?
Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/VIALL. That is JOINBILT.com/VIALL. Make sure to use our URL so they know that we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/VIALL to sign up for Built today.
Guys, what's going on?
Not much, man. It's great to see you.
Good to see you too. I love your studio. I built such a beautiful studio in my place. I'm so proud of it, and I never use it now
Why not?
because I like being on the go. I like being on location when I do my episodes.
Where do you go?
I just got back from Miami.
You were recording in Miami.
Yeah, I was recording I did a little impromptu. First of all, I love Miami. I love Florida. I went to Florida State. Go Noles.
You're a Seminole.
Yeah, I'm a Seminole through and through, but I love Miami, and I have a lot of friends there that I haven't seen in a long time. Also, I thought it'd be fun to do a little impromptu Winter House reunion. I was chilling with Katie Floody, Brian Benny,
Do you know these people, Sierra?
Oh, they were on Winter House. And Brian Benny was the star of Family Karma, which was, I think, one of the great shows on Bravo. I hope they bring it back. Yeah.
Family Karma. What was that about?
It was about this family. It was just about the family. The thing I loved about it was like, well, the deep connections is very heartfelt, but it's like you saw the deep connections through different generations. It's like a whole family and all the drama that happens.
Did it make you really sad to be at Summer House and to see everyone so family oriented?
Whoa. You cut deep with that one.
Sorry.
That was such a raw moment. I remember I was just watching them and it's almost like I took a moment outside of my body. And I was just like, wow, I used to have this. We used to have this.
Aww.
Like we were really, I know we were always highly dysfunctional, but we were such a loving family. We spent so much time together. Even when the cameras stopped rolling, we didn't go home. We never looked at it as call times. Like we hung out a lot, probably too much.
Yeah.
We were truly, we were our LA families. Yeah.
It was kind of a sad moment in your appearance at Summer House when you brought that up and you were like, now we all hate each other. How true is that statement? Or were you just being...
There might have been a little hyperbole.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't hate each other. You know me, I love everybody.
Yeah. But there is a little dysfunction going on, a little disconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels disjointed.
Are we finding out who our real friends are?
It's different for me. I think I
know
still,
you love everybody.
I have my rose-colored lenses on. They're implants.
Sees no wrong. They're implants.
Well, Tom,
Dr. Miami.
Well, when we were booking Tom for this week, Tom randomly sends me a picture poolside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Over in Miami?
Yeah.
Of his
To
bed?
which I replied, Mondrian? And Tom was like, how did you know?
Uncanny.
And it was a bit of a callback. I don't know if you realize this, but like that pool, you could argue I'm at the stage of my life where I'm being a little reflective of things. And I definitely believe in like the butterfly effect. And there's just moments in your life that you look back and go, wow, that was kind of pivotal. I didn't realize it then. But that pool, that hotel, pivotal in my life. I don't think we're all sitting here today if I don't go to that hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's and I talked about this on my episode a little bit, but it's also steeped in Vanderpump Rules lore.
Really?
I think season 3 stuff.
Okay. Oh,
But it was
Miami
the
Girl?
first time we ever did.
Miami Girl.
Maybe not. It was the first time that's the first time in my life at that pool in that moment in time, I think 2014, that I ever felt actually famous.
Really?
I never think of myself as famous. I got to be careful here. I don't. I'm not
You
like,
are.
I have minimal ego.
You have 2 bars with your name on it.
So true.
Touche,
So
Nick.
true.
Okay. I took the narcissist test and I got like a 3.
Oh,
I don't think you're a
not bad.
narcissist.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that pool, I was a model for a hot second following my second stint in
Can you find
Bachelor
some
Nation.
photos, Justin?
By the way, I didn't get the reference. Thank you for context now. I thought you were just obviously you're a beautiful man. I didn't think you couldn't be a model. I just didn't know you ever did model. I know you acted.
Briefly.
Usually they go hand
Well,
in
it was
hand.
after following my second stint on reality TV. I was roaming the streets of Chicago. The first time I went back to work right away. The second time I was like, I got to at least let this play out. And I went to go visit some of my friends at Salesforce. And I was walking outside of Salesforce. And this lovely woman named Gwen Pepper stopped me on the street. And she's like, have you ever modeled before? And she worked for Wilhelmina, Miami. And she had just gone to Chicago because she was like scouting for like Chicago talent. Having no idea that I was ever on The Bachelorette. And anyways, Gwen Pepper signed me to Wilhelmina, Miami, and they sent me down where that's like Wilhelmina, Miami. I don't know if their offices are still at the Mondrian, but that's where they were.
Yeah.
And they I pretended to be a model for a week and did some photo shoots and things like that. And then after a while, I was like, I'm not good at this. But Gwen then introduced me to my first LA agent. His name was Jack. And if I don't meet Gwen, I probably just go back to work. After the summer, I'm sure the summer would have died down. I would have been like, I got nothing going on. And I would have just gone back to work. So shout out to Gwen Pepper out there.
Shout out to Gwen Pepper.
Shout out to Gwen Pepper.
Yeah, I think about the butterfly effect a lot. It's like, what if I would have never met Tom Sandoval on Apartment Finders or Roommates Seeking Roommates Craigslist? Would Vanderpump Rules have? I think it still would have happened.
I don't know.
What if I
That's
never
the-
met Katie?
Well, then it
Hudson?
made me think, knowing that you were going to come here, I was just like, we are relatively in the same season of life. I
Yeah.
don't like to put a number on it because like that's calling us out, but we're in the same similar seasons of life. And we also started reality TV at a relatively similar time And it made me wonder, I wonder if you and I sat down and had a heart-to-heart, like what things we would relate to when it comes to our experience on reality TV and what things would be very different. Because we do come from two very different worlds, like ABC, Bachelor, Vanderpump, Bravo.
Do we feel like this is the place to do that?
I don't know. I mean, I promised Tom a relatively fun experience.
Softballs only.
Well, he does have. I just don't know how deep Tom. Do you want to talk about the gray in your hair?
Wants. I don't know how reflective Tom wants to be.
Well, I will say this: we had lightning in a bottle with our show. It's like how many people get to be on 10 years of national television, a hit show with people who are actually their friends.
Yeah.
The cameras just kind of picked up where we were at in our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I say this all the time. Like I think it was more dramatic after the camera started rolling. We were a disaster before the show started, and we were all hanging out every single day. That's when Kristen was living with Tom and myself, and then Kristen was best friends with Katie, and also Stassi, and then Jax. Like we all spent so much time together. It was beautifully toxic.
Do you feel like the new Vanderpump just honestly doesn't really have a shot? Like in like a
with Villa or
no.
See, I'm very confused by Villa versus the new Vanderpump.
Are they calling it Vanderpump?
Yep,
they are.
It's Vanderpump Rules.
They're calling it Vanderpump
As far
Rules.
as I know,
Wow.
it is called Vanderpump Rules 2.0. Not formally,
2.0. Okay.
but
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it.
No, of course. Well, I'll watch it, but I'm just curious.
You can't be rooting for them.
You can't be.
You
rooting
can't
for
be
them.
rooting for them.
Well,
I know the Tom Schwartz answer is like, of course, I want everyone to be happy, and I love everybody, but like deep down, we don't.
I don't think lightning can strike twice in the same spot.
And especially in 2025, because like you guys were authentic. You really were like truly dysfunctional.
Yeah.
That's why Vanderpump Villa, I don't think is quite landing, because you have a bunch of like wanna be yous. And I think
You're crying?
No, this sweater's surprisingly hot.
You're hot?
Yeah.
Do you have something under it?
No.
Oh. Do you want to sit
I
here
hate that I'm
shirtless?
so frequently sweaty during interviews. Looks like I'm coming down off a bender or something. I slept 8 hours. I was in bed at 8 p.m. last night.
Are we asking you hard questions? Or?
No, not at all. I've watched the first half of Vanderpump Villa season 2, and I think it's significantly better than the first season. I think they got some chemistry. I'm digging it. Okay. I'm invested.
Agreed.
But yeah, like we had deep rooted friendships. Tom and Jax had known each other long before the show ever started in Miami, where they both modeled together. You guys probably crossed paths.
Maybe.
Oh my God.
Y'all probably were going out for the same job.
I was a model for, I don't even think I booked a gig.
In a parallel universe, I just signed an 8-figure contract for my podcast, and you are just coming off Vanderpump Rules with Jax and Tom.
It's possible.
Imagine how crazy
I don't
that
think,
would be.
I don't think so. Because I would have been like, guys, I love you, but we're very different.
No, we are.
Yeah,
I know. I would love to watch. Would you guys ever consider doing a reality
Absolutely
show?
not.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. This kind of
Listen,
is
you
that.
need drama for a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And Nick and I are in a place in our relationship where like we
do want to protect our peace and our daughter. And I say this about, like, for example, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is about to debut. They give. You guys gave. You really, I mean, like, I don't think, for all the commentary and snark and criticisms and critiques that we have, I guess even for Jax Dilema, it's like, for us to enjoy it, it requires people like you and even people like Jax to just be whoever they want to be. And whether that's a dysfunctional, mentally unwell person who is maybe an emotional terrorist to his family, or someone as lovable as you.
Oh,
whoa.
What do you know that I don't?
But you guys truly are willing to be your truest selves. And like, we like to share bits and pieces of our life, but like, no, I do not feel like compelled to like be like, you know what, I owe my audience like a front row seat at everything that goes on
at
in
our
my
dinner
life,
table. Yeah.
That was the unspoken rule. I mean, it wasn't in the contract, it wasn't written out verbatim, but yeah, like once we signed that contract, it was like all the filters are off. Nothing is sacred. And we fully committed to the bit.
Can I ask you a question that's been asked of me that, in this full disclosure, when I was asked this question, I would roll my eyes and be like, no, absolutely not. But like oftentimes, but this is where I wonder if like the world that we were part of, how different they were. When it came to people like, well, I was the villain a couple times. And so people would come up to me and ask if I like basically leaned into my quote unquote bad behavior of like interrupting dates or whatever and things like that. And I was like, no, I definitely I never wanted to be the villain. Like I never chose to be the villain, never wanted to be the villain. I actively tried not to be the villain. And so when I found out I was the villain, it was even harder to accept because like I tried to be likable.
Those are the best villains, by the way. The villains who don't think they're a villain.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. But with Bravo, my question to you is, it sometimes feels like, is bad behavior sometimes performative, or are people rewarded for bad behavior, a la Jax Taylor, or like you were on the Summer House. We're currently covering Summer House, and like certainly different than maybe some of the stuff going on in Jax's world, and it's a little heavier and things like that. But right now we have Jesse Solomon and Lexi's relationship, and he's kind of like leaning into like, I'm the fuck boy, I'm undateable. And like, you know, Lexi even said when we interviewed her that he stated out loud that he was almost envious of the criticisms that Wes got in his breakup with Sierra last season, that he almost like was like, oh, well, I guess if that's how you get famous, I'll just lean into being the fuck boy. And just from your perspective, have you seen people in Bravo world try to be the villains, and like it is some of their bad behavior performative? I don't need you to call it any names.
No,
if you're
it's
comfortable
okay.
answering this question.
It's a great question. And yeah, I mean, with a lot of different shows, like like a lot of shows are soft scripted. I never had one moment in the history of Vanderpump Rules where I felt like they tried to put words in my mouth or stovepipe me. Isn't that the industry term, stovepiping?
I've never heard
Never heard that.
stovepiping.
Stovepiping is where essentially like a director will come in and be like, hey, you know what? I like what you're doing here, but why don't you try this and say it like this? I never experienced that once. They would have to gently guide me because we would go on tangents and start talking about stuff that's not interesting, off subject, off theme. But in our world, we fortunately never really had to do that. Of course, I've had a few moments that felt performative. I prefer not to say which ones.
It's fine.
There's one in particular.
Well,
You got-
what?
Can't do
There's
that,
only one
bro.
moment I ever truly felt like I just felt like I didn't feel like there was no hand of God or voice of God, and no one forced me to do it.
I
made
will
my-
say sometimes it does feel good to confess and just get it out.
It does.
just
you know.
that there was a kiss one time in Mexico. That's all I'll say. That was the only truly
Oh.
contrived moment I
Mm.
think in my whole journey on that show.
Sheena.
No.
Oh,
Raquel.
Raquel.
Yeah.
I felt that.
It just
Honestly,
Yeah.
you should get that out.
Can
You
I
don't
get
want
that
the-
out?
You don't
Get
want
it
the
out.
It's not a dig
Oh
at
my-
Raquel.
get it
She's
out.
Raquel's. She's lovely and beautiful. It's nothing
Whatever,
to do
sure.
with her. I'm just saying. I felt so
Do you
icky
feel
after that.
a weight lifted off of your shoulders?
I'm torn.
No.
Because that was my family, and like not just on camera, but behind the scenes, off camera. Like we were together in the trenches for 10, 11 years.
Well,
And during that time, we really forged a deep bond.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sad. Not that I'll be done with reality TV forever, but
now you're doing like the rounds. You're like
Kinda slutty.
you're the designated hitter.
You get like a train run on you. It's like kind of gross.
I
But
kinda
also
like it.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
listen, I love Bravo. I don't care. I'll be a brown nose. So anytime they ask me to do a show, I'm like, hell yeah.
Why not?
I
Why would you
love
say no?
Bravo.
You should
Bravo's
do
so
special
many good-
forces.
I don't think I could do
Yeah,
it.
he
should.
doesn't have
Nick
it.
is-
No, he totally
But
would.
you said I don't have the
you could-
grit? Did you just
said
call me
don't.
Yella?
Yeah,
I don't think you have what it takes. I just don't think you have any desire, and this is a compliment. Like maybe this comes from I need sometimes to prove things to myself.
Mm,
I don't feel like you have that. I don't think you have that need.
I think that's
It's a
a compliment.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a level of security that maybe you have that I don't.
There's layers to that compliment.
Yeah.
That's first, I'll just say thank you. I think pre Schwartz and Sandy's Tom, he was lacking grit, chutzpah, discipline. Post Schwartz and Sandy's Tom could do it.
I think you could.
I don't know if I would say yes. I'm not putting it out there in the universe. You got to be careful. I just did this whole episode on quantum healing where it's all about like the interconnectedness of your mind and your body, you know, how you think, what you feel, how it affects, your physical health.
What did you learn?
I'm still processing it. By the way, this happened last week. Shout out to Jacqueline Francis, you guys. She's a quantum healer, spiritual advisor, and she came over. Have you ever done anything like this?
No.
By the way, I'm a healthy critic too.
No.
But
But
we-
when you say quantum healer, I feel healed.
no,
When
and
you say it.
yes, and I think there should be a good amount of healthy criticism. You know, it's not something you want to replace going to the doctor with. But I think it's nice to have adjacently with your Western medicine.
I
and
definitely
everything.
believe I'm not like a Western medicine till I die. I think Western medicine's all about just taking another pill. And I definitely don't subscribe to that. I think there's a balance there.
Yes.
But I don't know if I'm all the way far with like quantum spiritual healers for like a cult.
Well, you're a cerebral guy. You're also very heartfelt. You're capable of very deep emotions. You're a father, and you have a lot of depth of character. I'd love to hear your input on it after you do a session. I cried like 7 times. I don't really know what it was surprisingly intimate. It was very cathartic, honestly moving, and it was something special. I felt
Did you
very.
see her boobs? Like, I feel like this is where it's
You
going.
got me. I
You're
was
like,
having a
and then
moment, Natalie.
She gave me the craziest blowjob.
Great tits.
It's like,
No,
okay.
Jacqueline. Sorry,
Sorry,
I don't mean
Jacqueline.
that.
Sorry,
but no,
Jacqueline,
I
I
had
don't.
such a really magical moment, and then we had tickets to the game with one of my dear friends, the Dodgers game.
Oh.
I went to Dodgers Stadium, and I had an afterglow. If you guys ever done like acid or mushrooms, you have an afterglow. I felt like especially in tune with myself and the universe, and I threw down $150 on the 50-50. I play it every time. You guys know what that is?
Yeah, the 50-50 raffle.
I ended up hitting the 50-50 that day for like $35K.
Oh my God, you're rich.
And something about that, just like
Wait,
the
you
time.
won $35K?
You're
Well,
rich.
you get 50% of it, and I split my 50% with my dear friend, who I'll keep his privacy. He's very private.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah. So it just
Do
I
you
don't
have it
know.
on you?
No, it should be here in a few weeks.
Okay, perfect.
But
But you went to the Dodger game and just randomly won $15,000.
I got quantum healed, and then I hit the Dodgers 50-50.
Wow.
So after your next session, invite
No,
me.
Yeah.
That's
That's
when
kind
we
of
did your
I'm going
friend.
That is kind of
too.
bullshit for like, the famous guy goes to a Dodger game and he wins the 50-50. You're not the person who's supposed to win that.
I know. I play it every time in my defense. I've probably contributed at least
He's got your money
$6,000 to the 50-50.
Wow.
So maybe I'm breaking even.
How was your appearance on Summer House? We enjoyed watching you.
I've been friends with those guys a long time.
You
so,
started Summer House in a
yeah.
way.
Well, in a way, yeah.
Were you there? You weren't even there.
Stassi was there.
Stassi was there.
and Katie were
Vanderpump,
there.
yeah.
Which I think was an iconic episode with Kyle in the
Yeah.
hot tub and everything, if you guys remember that
Deep
far
jobs.
back. Yeah. Summer House is so good this year, by the way.
Really good.
Which is a weird thing to say because I hang out there with my friends. I almost feel, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I feel like it's a violation when I'm watching my friends on a TV show. Does this make sense? It feels like something I shouldn't be watching. I hang out with them on a regular basis.
It's like you're
Yeah,
watching their
maybe.
security cameras or something.
Yes.
yeah.
It's tough.
Thank
I mean,
you.
obviously on the show we watch and we critique and pick apart like sports fans do their favorite teams.
Yeah.
Like I met Sierra when she came on the show a while back. Really enjoyed her company. I'm pretty sure Sierra fucking hates me right now
Why?
because like when it comes to the character I've watched on TV, I just definitely does not team Sierra.
Oh, you've been a critic, an outspoken critic?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen the clips. I
He's like,
see
oh,
her.
you
I
said
also
it
feel
out
like-
loud?
I feel like this
You
season
publicly
she's done
stated that?
she's done nothing but prove me right.
Sierra, I love you if you're listening.
I love her too.
You've been a
girl.
stan of Sierra. Like
Absolutely.
after watching this past season,
Mhm.
like Sierra is like honestly in the game of life or the game of reality TV, whatever you want. Like the NFL draft was recently, so put it in those contexts. She's a #1 pick. She has everything going for her. Looks, brains. She's a supermodel. She also has like this honorable other job as a nurse. She has everything. She can get in any room in any world, have any guy that she wants. And then like, what's her dating history? Austin.
West.
West.
Austin.
Who else?
I think
Who's
that's
next,
pretty
Tom
much
Schwartz?
it.
Just kidding.
Are you
No.
are you
manifesting
submitting
that?
yourself?
I mean, so you're just telling, like, if Sierra's out there, and if I don't know for sure, maybe she's not, maybe this is all for TV, but she projects on TV that she is frustrated with her dating life, and you're telling me that her problems in her dating life, if from her frustrations, do you think it's more based off of dumb luck and bad men, or maybe her choices?
Yeah, her choice is to give men that don't deserve a chance a chance. Yeah.
I mean, her sitting
But
there and telling
that's a choice.
I know a little bit
her
about
sitting
that.
there and telling Lexi like he's punching way above his weight is like I wanted her to like shake herself and be like, so
Yeah.
have you.
What was the quote that she just recently gave when asked if she wants Lexi to return, who we met and I just found to be delightful.
Yeah, Lexi's lovely.
She said, if Lexi's here next year, great. But if she's not, see ya. I'll never have to see her again. I'm used to people coming in and out and not staying. I just don't care, honestly.
So like I'm just curious as to why. What did Lexi do to these women? Like it's not giving girls girl.
I'm like, they were fine in this last episode. She was
Yeah.
sitting there drinking a
They were
martini in
fine.
the room chatting.
There were definitely looks of like
Just because you work with someone doesn't mean you have to be best friends with them.
that's I understand, but like they preach pro girl.
Who
and
does?
Sierra and
Not really.
Well, you're right. Sierra doesn't really preach it.
I think
but
Paige, Amanda,
Yeah.
and Sierra are like 3 peas in a pod. They've been very outspoken about like not always being close with Lindsay, not always being close with Danielle, not all,
I
like
feel like Sierra makes choices based off of her ego, and she makes choices based off of short-term validation. And like, again, she's just fucking with guys who are in seasons of life that are just kind of beneath her. And at some point, it's like on her.
I love those guys though. Guys,
Yeah,
these
we
are
love
not
them
my
all,
views
too.
or
And you're-
opinions.
Yeah, Tom.
These are
Well,
not
going
my
back to
views or
that, I think
opinions.
it's what's that proximity clause? There's something the study they did, or it's like you're more likely to hook up with someone you see on a regular basis
Yeah.
significantly. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
there's something to do with proximity. and
Honestly,
this-
if Sierra was like, hey, listen, that was all for TV, and I would normally not fuck with any of these guys, but whatever, a job's a job, I would be like, totally believable. But if I'm just taking her actions at face value from what I'm seeing on TV, like she just makes choices that like make no sense for someone who could literally have it all.
Mm.
And like she could date anyone she wanted to. She can get in any room. And like she's always fucking with men who just like the only thing they have in common is the fact that like they're willing to say no to her, mostly based off the fact that they just want to say yes to every hookup opportunity that comes their way. And she wants to be the person that these guys who want to just play fuckboy, she wants to be the person who they're willing to give that all up for her.
Mm.
I think if Sierra was like, Jesse, I want to date you, he would drop everything.
I mean, him
in
in the
a
bed
second.
when he was like, "Do you think that that's what?"
I'm not so
she
sure.
thought?"
Literally, yeah.
I'm not so sure. I think
No?
he likes the idea. Why is she even like her actions online right now are giving that she is leaning into the Jesse of it all. Like why? Why is she even bothering with that narrative? Why is she fucking with that? You know what I'm saying? Why
He's
is
pretty
she
charming in person.
I'm sure he
He's-
is.
Yeah, I'm
He is.
I am
I
sure
just spent
he
some
is.
time with
I'm
him
like,
in New
they're
York.
also on a
Sure
TV
he
show,
is.
and we're talking about it. So
I'm
I'm like, if
fine.
they weren't taking the photos together, what
Great.
headlines do we
And
have?
if she's doing it for the job, I respect it. I get it. But if this is who she is, question her dating decisions.
This is where I
Like-
should chime in to dish some dirt, but it was like I was kind of a shell of myself when I went and did Summer House. Not to make it
Why?
about
Why?
me.
I thought it was so relatable when you were like laying in bed after Bed Fest or Sleep Fest, and you were just like, "All right, like I've done enough. I miss my dogs." Like we all sing songs ready to go home.
That came from the heart. That was raw. No,
I felt it.
that was the very, very last moment. And again, you guys, I don't want to sing the Schwartz and Sandy sad song. It's over. I made peace with that. But that was the last moment where I had the realization that we're closing and there's nothing I could do to stop it. And I was gonna lose altogether maybe $1 million. Like, you know, not just me, but like that was $1 million business.
It
It's
sucks.
just, yeah.
Remember when we came to your last night closing?
Yeah, that was really sweet and unexpected.
We did. We
Thank you,
surprised
guys.
Schwartzy.
Um,
How are you feeling about your salt and pepper hair?
wait, is it gray?
What?
I usually
Well,
dye the sides a little
it's
bit.
a little, but like it's kind of giving.
Yeah, you dig it?
Kinda.
You look
just-
hot.
How do you
Thank you.
feel?
Yeah.
I feel okay with it. I've decided that I'm not going to go gray or embrace the gray until I have at least one kid and more wisdom.
Smart.
Do you want to talk about fatherhood?
You talked a lot about it on Summer House.
It's like it's my biggest insecurity in life. The fact that I'm 42 and I don't have a family. I'm okay.
You're only 42.
I just think
I have a woman who wants to have a child. If you want to have a child as well.
Can
Okay,
I
well-
ask you a somewhat heavy question?
Sure.
What are you willing to give up to be a dad about your current lifestyle,
I think
if anything?
anything and everything for my family. But I just don't. I'm not the same person I was before the pandemic.
What do you mean by that?
I've evolved. I might not show, and maybe it's not a dramatic evolution, but I don't go out nearly as much anymore. I'm not like going on benders, coming home at like 6 a.m. I'm easy. I don't like shut down when faced with harsh criticism. I'm willing to have deep, meaningful conversations. I'm very loving, understanding.
You're willing to be an active service kind of man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I have found in adult life, I think there's exceptions to every rule, but I think for most people, if you're a high functioning person, you really only have the bandwidth to prioritize 2 things in your life and be great at them, like a job, a career,
Yeah.
and like your family, or it could be a job and your friends, or it could be like your family and your friends, and then you could be like, okay, at your job, I just
Yeah.
feel like as people, like we can't really be exceptional. You have to figure out, all right, which one do I want? Do I want to be a great dad, or do I want to be like, the best friend of all time, or do I want to be great at my job, Or do I want to be a great, sometimes we have to make choices. I have found that like I choose the tops for me. I can focus on my career, I can focus on my family, but I don't have time for anything else.
Jack of all trades, master of none. That's the path I've chosen. I'm just going to be pretty good at everything, but not great at anything.
But what would you rather be great at?
Well, I know I will be a great father.
Are
I
you
can say
dating?
that with 100%
Last
certainty.
time we had you on the show,
Last time we were here, you were
I'm not
dating.
currently dating anyone.
That's fine. I
But
don't
no,
wanna-
it's
I don't
okay.
wanna-
No, it's
So
okay.
can I unfollow her on Instagram?
No, I
Oh,
love
no,
her. I have the
okay.
utmost
Just
love
kidding.
and respect for her. I could go
Just
on for
kidding. I like
literally
her
20
too.
minutes right now about how much I love
He's like,
her.
no, I'm friends with all my exes.
No, but especially
No hate, no hate, no hate, no hate.
especially Sophia. She's amazing. And,
No, I liked her too.
She's like one of my favorite human beings of all
Oh
time.
my gosh.
Truly.
All
what
time?
happened?
I mean,
You don't have to talk about it.
I mean, listen, she ran the gauntlet early on. Like I was going through it. And let's just say I didn't have the best reputation online.
Mm.
And she's not someone who really gives a shit what people say online. She's fiercely independent and has such like a strong sense of self. But I did see her constantly getting relegated to Tom Schwartz's girlfriend. I don't know. Just a lot of little things happen, but we're cool. Like,
Is that how you felt for a while?
Oh, for sure.
really?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I think it's definitely just, I mean, like when you don't have like a name for yourself
Yeah.
and you are in a relationship with someone who does, that is what, I mean, I'm still referred to as like Nick Viall's wife.
Not for long.
Which is fine. I love being Nick Viall's wife, but
Yeah.
like I do remember a certain point at which I was like, I am more than that.
Someday
Exactly.
someday I'll be Natalie Joy's husband. Period.
That's beautiful.
It'll be sooner than later, I think.
Yeah. But no, she's
I'll
just
be taking the pictures and holding I am already holding the bags. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I want to stay on topic here, but by the way, I've been living vicariously through you. Is your lake house in Wisconsin?
Yes.
Mhm.
See, I'm doing like a bootleg version of what you're doing. Instead of a lake, I have a pond. I'm also building a house right now
In Wisconsin?
in Florida.
Oh.
And there's probably alligators in there, but it's
fun.
beautiful. It's got those lily blossoms on there and
Yeah.
everything, and it's
For the
I'm
fam?
building like a little tiny shack. It's like 1,500 square feet. Yeah, for the fam.
Let's talk about your
That's
podcast.
sweet.
Oh, we don't have to, but yeah,
I mean, you started one.
this is fun. I did, and I love it. It's been so fulfilling. I don't know if you guys know, I'm obsessed with podcasts. I probably listen to 40 in my rotation.
Is the Viall Files one of them?
Yeah. Well, I usually consume yours on Instagram
Mm.
with clicks.
Yeah. So you don't listen to it.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
fine.
did-
honestly, I'm sure it's like triggering for.
No, it's
for you.
not. I love your podcast. Actually, you guys are crushing it, and you have such great guests. But I watch it on clips on Instagram. Is that okay?
Yeah. that's
I don't
fine.
listen to the whole episodes all the way
Yeah, I
through.
mean,
That's
like,
okay.
listen. I mean, we'll take what we can get.
Yes, we will take what
Um,
we can get.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Shavings make a pile.
Shavings do make a pile. I don't know if
Pennies
that's.
make a dollar.
Yeah. What's your show about, Tom?
So, okay. My show is called Detox Retox, and it's an exploration, a dance between indulgence and moderation. For most of my life, I've been known to overindulge, and I've just been turning things around lately. I'm looking to level up spiritually, mentally, physically, and I've been doing that. I've been putting in the work, and this is just the beginning. You guys, I'm not.
You do it on your podcast.
Yeah, I'm
So
not a
people
new
can
guru. I'm
Watch
not-
or listen to you like have a.
Yeah, codename. Yeah, the re-education of Tom Schwartz. I feel like the past 10 years, my brain has just turned to mush.
Mm.
I've had some of the best experiences of my life. Rich with experience. I've had such a unique adventure, but I just feel like I haven't been yet tending to the garden of the mind. It's just feeling a little dusty up there. So
Some
this
dead
is the beginning of a
plants.
new chapter for me. They're wilted. They're not dead.
Oh,
They just need a little TLC.
do you still have plants all in your house?
I do.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. But I'm really excited. It's been so fulfilling so far. Yeah, I just did an episode with Katie Floody and Brian Benny, who are on Winter House with me in Miami. My first traveling episode was really fun. And little did I know, I was on your old stomping grounds.
Wait, you had to travel with all like your mics and your wires
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's just me. It's kind of scary because I guess I'm the writer, director, producer, the booker.
Yeah.
And if it bombs, it's on. I have no one else I can blame.
one man show.
Is Sandoval still doing his podcast? Everyone hates Tom Sandoval?
Yeah, everyone.
Or-
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
everyone loves Tom Sandoval?
Oh, loves. It was loves.
Everyone loves.
loves
Yeah,
Tom.
EL. Everyone loves. ELTE. Yeah, he's still doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
haven't.
you're no longer doing it with him.
I'm not doing it with him.
How are you two doing?
We're cool. I just haven't seen him as much lately.
His girlfriend.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Sure, like,
He's in love.
yeah.
Tom's
That's what
madly,
happens to everybody. when they get
madly in love. Yeah. So they're kind of attached at the hip.
I
I don't
wish.
see him that much, but I love him. No. I mean it in a good
No,
way.
I wish that I could be attached to Nick's hip, but he
Yeah.
won't let me. So
Do you think they'll get married?
I do think they'll get married.
Do you think you'll be the best man?
I don't know. Whoa, that's a good question.
Who would be the best man?
Yeah,
Tom
not
is
you.
still Tom's still one of my dearest friends. Obviously, there's a lot of things that happened that put a lot of strain on our friendship. But at the end of the day, I still love him. He's still family.
I mean, sure, but that strain came from you like having his back
Yeah.
with unquestioning loyalty
Yeah.
and support
Yeah.
at your demise.
I have healthy boundaries in our names aren't on the side of a business that people love to chastise, maybe rightfully so anymore. But I have my peace. I have my boundaries now, and any sort of lingering resentment with Sandoval, it's like compartmentalized.
I have a hard
It's
time with that
tucked-
word too.
Compartmentalized.
There you go.
It's tucked away.
Yeah.
It's on a shelf. It's gone but not forgotten.
What other like reality TV shows are you watching?
I just finished watching. It's on Netflix. I think it's called Boot Camp.
Battle Camp.
Battle. I'm
We
enamored.
had the host Taylor Lewan on last week. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I know. I saw, and I loved that show. I thought the cast
You
had
saw a
real-
clip.
That's okay, damn it.
So
No,
yeah, no, I know.
I thought the cast had really good chemistry together. I'd like to see more seasons of the same cast,
Okay.
but it was like a little Fear Factor meets like I miss Fear Factor. But seeing them eat like the tarantula, did you guys watch the whole
Mm-mm.
season? There's
Or-
no amount of money I would eat that for. Not even
No amount of
250K.
money?
Unless it was like we're going to
That's
give
because
you.
you're rich.
No, I'm not.
That's
I'm
because
not.
you won the 50-50.
Yeah.
You don't need to eat
Have everyone,
tarantulas.
and I say this with love, has anyone ever described you as like a real life Kramer?
I've got a modern hippie. People have described me as a modern hippie, like the dude from the Big Lebowski adjacent.
And again, you are obviously a hard worker and all those things, but on TV, your character was one of like who just like shows up and just falls into money and opportunities, and he's just like on TV for a decade. He never really ever had a job.
I did though.
And like,
He was a model.
Yeah.
Before that, I went to college. I worked in corporate. I would work for a distributor. Like I have good work.
that wasn't
ethic.
your storyline, you know?
Yeah,
It was-
no.
Didn't you go to college for like med school or didn't you go to med school or something?
Kind of.
Or applied to?
I mean, they don't have like a pre-med program at Florida State. At least they used to not have it. So you just kind of do everything you have to do. You choose a science, exercise physiology, biology.
And you have one of the best vocabularies on the cast.
No,
You have
you
you
guys-
had a word of the day calendar, didn't you?
big words do not equate to big intelligence. Let's just say that.
Thank
Well,
God.
Bachelor Nation is going to start like releasing everyone's audition tapes.
Yeah.
That's so good.
First of all, I know Nick's is going to be no beard.
You know, beard.
He's going to be wearing a scarf.
I will have what most
Scott.
people perceive as bad fashion. Are you okay? You're fogging
I'm
up.
sweaty.
Do you want ice
Take
water?
your shirt off.
Wait, I don't have an undershirt.
Do we
Otherwise,
have
I
I'm
a
wouldn't.
sure we
t-shirt?
have a t-shirt here.
T-shirt for.
I got shamed
I'm
at the pool
coming.
in Miami. They're
Okay.
like, "You are the
Leo's
pastiest
coming.
human being I've ever seen in my life." Someone told me
Who
that.
said this to you?
Didn't y'all
That's
used
so
to do a
random.
lot of tanning beds and stuff? Why'd you stop?
Why am I always sweaty?
Can we get Tom Schwartz a t-shirt or a tank top, please?
I think all we have is smalls.
They're
I went to the
coming.
Valley premiere and I saw some of my interviews on the red carpet. I'm like, I was sweating profusely. They're like, "What kind of
Do you
drugs
run
are you on?"
hot?
I'm not on any drugs.
Do you run hot?
I do.
You do.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
I in my defense, I did an hour of cardio before I came here. Maybe I'm
What
still-
time did you wake up?
I woke up at like 6.
This is a man who's
Wow.
like really making moves. Like this is adult Tom.
I feel like honestly, you could have a baby.
It took me 42 years, but I am adult Tom.
Shug and him could have a baby together. She
know
wants a
Shug.
baby. Your glasses do
We're
fog up
fogging
every so often, and I can't see your eyeballs.
I know.
So
Sometimes I still feel like, "Why are you that hot? Why are your glasses fogging up?" Like, I can't help it. Is it that hot in here? No, I run hot.
do you need a moment?
You're acting
You
like
can
I've been
step
like,
out and put
so
that shirt
did
on."
Tom cheat on?
You've been so easy on me.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it's like a Pavlonian thing. Just coming in here, I start sweating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like,
When we did
Fair.
that interview, like, what was going on in your head when Tom first appeared?
well, in hindsight, I think it's borderline iconic.
Yeah.
Not
100%.
borderline. I don't
It
think I'll
is.
ever top it in terms of like just
Like the
real-time
call, the
craziness.
like, where are you? The like
the tiger
the
photo.
tiger photo.
You were in
The I wouldn't cheat that way.
You were gobsmacked, or just like appall's the wrong word. You were just, I was watching you watch him, and you were just in disbelief. And I don't know, but as I've gotten older, I'm more empathetic and compassionate. And there's no excuse for being that late. But the fact that he was up all night mourning, as the loss of his friend, and all the stuff he had compartmentalized.
I feel like I've become a Sandoval apologist almost
Whoa.
because I see the good in him. He's a flawed human with obviously a lot of of qualities that are easy to criticize, and I think he has a different moral compass than, say, the average person. But he is not without redeeming characteristics.
Don't y'all think it's crazy that Nick is like Team Sandoval but not Team Sierra?
Right?
I'm
Isn't
not
that
Team
crazy?
Sandoval. I just no because
Like you're able to make excuses for Sandoval but not
it's not
Sierra.
that. It's not that. You guys know me. I'm a bit of a devil's advocate, but I just you go online. It's like Sierra can do no wrong, and there's this blind loyalty towards
how-
Sierra because she, again, of all her amazing qualities of which she
You're
has.
mad at the fans.
Not mad at the fans. I'm just willing to point out flaws in her decisions the same way the entire internet is obsessed with pointing out Tom's. But I'm also willing to point out that Tom Sandoval has some good qualities that everyone likes to pretend don't exist. It's all binary to reality TV fans. You're either totally good or totally evil. I'm more nuanced. And I think Sierra is a wonderful person, but I think she makes choices that are to her detriment. And then she goes around blaming others for some of her choices. And then the internet rallies behind her because she's a queen and she can do no wrong. And I think she can do wrong and often does.
You're going to get canceled.
It's a hot take.
I'll live.
Yeah.
It won't be the first time the internet's mad at me.
Yeah.
Sierra, I love you. If you're out there, I'd love for you to come on the show. I know you never will again. But
Literally. She never will again. Amanda will never. Paige will never.
what did I say about Paige? Oh, I am so sorry that I had a little bit of empathy towards Craig. I don't think Paige is that petty. I think Paige gets it. I think Paige is a pro. I could be wrong.
I mean,
Maybe-
if
maybe
I were
she is
Paige,
that
I
petty.
wouldn't.
To your wife's point.
Like,
I
I just wouldn't go and hang out with the people who supported my ex.
When by support, what do you mean?
Support.
support.
SUPP.
She did admit to
on
it.
toes
Did
down.
I stutter?
I will
Yes.
say though, I
Support.
did walk past Craig's store. What's it called?
So
So
down
Going down
south.
south.
Really impressed.
He's crushing.
Really impressed. I don't know where I'm getting. I don't know where she gets breadwinner. I mean, maybe it's an unsuccessful
Well,
Are you
business.
okay.
She's making
selling out Madison Square Garden.
She is-
Yeah.
She had
Hey,
commercials.
fine,
pillows
fine,
and resume.
she
And he had an
ma-
empty store in the south.
She clearly makes more than
His
him. I'm just saying,
employees were
why do we-
watching Netflix.
Why do we have to? Why do we have to knock him down as if he's begging for money?
No, he's crushing.
That's
Craig
not
is
how it
crushing
was.
right
Just
now.
that's not how it was. It was just hey, I'm the
It was
breadwinner.
kind of like he's a loser.
No, she said, why would I
No.
have to move when my business and everything's in New York and I'm the breadwinner?
Okay. Yeah, she'll never come on, I guess.
No.
So.
Never know.
Absolutely not.
And
Fine.
Amanda's a loyal friend to the two of them, so she will also
Yes.
never come on.
But we love you.
But we do.
Have you guys ever went and saw Giggly Squad? They're
No.
so
Live
good.
show?
I
No.
almost did, and then I was really pissed when I missed it.
They're funny as hell. I saw them at the Wiltern, and I'm not kissing ass. Before I leave, I want to have one hot take where I'm critical of someone.
Can't
I
you- could
rebuke
you?
someone.
Is it possible?
Let me think about it.
Okay. How do you feel about Katie's new boyfriend?
Oh, he's lovely. I actually love that guy. This is a burgeoning bromance.
Okay.
No. I just said what's up to Dana in the hallway, by the way. I want to say hi to Katie before I leave.
When's the last time you talk shit and meant it?
Guess who taught
1923.
Guess who taught me how to talk shit?
Katie.
Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are like, duh.
We're
But it didn't stick.
It
we're,
did.
we're recapping as we always do on Viall Files Plus Vanderpump, and I've yet to disagree with your ex-wife.
No, she's usually pretty on point. Her intuition's unrivaled, but she's been wrong once or twice.
Maybe, I guess, but for the most part, not really.
Yeah.
Not on
Not
that show.
documented.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
I'm trying to think something mean I can say about someone. No, I'm actually really excited for the new Vanderpump Rules. I think the cast, they're not going to try.
So
Oh,
boring.
can I ask you a question? I don't know if you'll answer, but
Yeah.
I'm going to ask. We're watching The Valley. Love the show. I think you make a cameo.
I pop in here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is your opinion of Jesse Lally
Jesse.
Love the guy.
Well, Jesse.
So lovely.
as
Well,
a father and as an ex-husband? Because you're
As-
an ex-husband too.
Yeah. Okay. So he is a complex creature.
Okay.
Jesse Lally is a very complex creature. How he always handles himself with Michelle. I don't condone that. But as a father, I have nothing good things to say about him. He loves his daughter more than anything in the world. He's truly, I think even Michelle would say that, right?
Do you think his daughter will appreciate how
Isabella.
he treats her mother, especially when she's old enough to maybe watch some of this stuff back and maybe read some of the press clippings? Do you think?
I don't think he's even proud of that. He's very self-aware.
Is
And-
he?
Yeah, he is.
Why am I not seeing a difference between season 2 and season 1?
I think you will.
Okay.
I have a
I think
question.
Jesse Lally's. Oh God,
Pressing.
is this going to be my hot take? The nail. I think Jesse Lally will grow on people. It might take some time,
Okay.
but I really do think he'll grow.
Okay.
Oh my God, what have I done?
Are you in the boys group chat?
You know he
Ooh,
is.
It is a
Questions,
vile and despicable place.
it.
And here's the thing: when you try to leave, they put you back in.
Can you tell me the last text that was sent in the group chat?
No, it was actually pretty uplifting and loving this morning. It was.
This morning.
Well, someone was going to work at like 6 a.m. I won't say who. They were not up partying or anything, but they were on their way to work, and they were driving down Sunset, and there was apparently a group of like 30
He's
people
sweating again.
fighting outside of what's it called? Not to put you on the spot, Nick. What's that one strip? The iconic strip club across from the across.
He's like that place we used to go to all the time. Remember,
across
Nick?
from the
Body
shed-
shop.
Body shop. There
Never
was like
heard of it.
apparently at 4 a.m. There was
I
like,
swear to God.
or no,
Sure.
5 or 6 a.m. There was a group of like I didn't even know they're open all night. But apparently there was a group of like 30 people fighting outside, and we were like, oh my God, does this mean LA is back? Just having a laugh, but no one goes out. That's an industry joke because nobody goes out in LA anymore.
So true. Sunset
Nobody
Strip
goes.
is dead on a
I
Friday.
think honestly, and when it comes to your goals of fatherhood and like just kind of adulting, I think maybe you need to leave the group chat and
He
never,
just said he tries to leave and they'll put him back in.
Well, I tried to leave maybe back in like 2021.
You can block it.
I was
Years
having
ago.
a moment. I was like, this is too toxic. It just was getting too
What's the most toxic thing you saw in there?
ever.
Ever.
I mean, I will say this about the boys chat. It's funny.
I don't doubt it's locker.
it's
fun-
refreshing.
some
Do you
Fresh
feel
humor.
like it's funny to like everyone or maybe just to the guys in it?
Definitely just the
Do you
guys.
think it
in
would be
it.
funny to their
College.
wives?
So many cancelable offenses.
You should say the most toxic thing and who sent it, because then they'll kick you out of the chat and will not
Yeah.
let you back
So
in.
true. That's
Yeah.
how you get
That's
out.
how you get
That's how
out.
you get out.
You're a
Genius.
genius.
Thank you.
It's not doing you any good.
No, being a part of that group chat.
Yeah.
No, I know.
It's a dating red flag when we were dating, and you would have saw that.
I probably would have like let it slide, and then once like we were actually very serious and I started obviously reading everything that was in it, I would definitely be like, it's time to go.
No, if someone got a hold of it and read it, I'd be mortified.
Did
I
Sophia
don't-
did Sophia ever try to read it?
No, she's not like that. She's
but
not
just
nosy.
like not just out of curiosity.
No,
You were never like, look at this crazy ass shit this guy just sent.
Honestly, it's just a lot of like fart humor, like sophomoric type of. But it's like it's kind of nice
and, like,
and
maybe
small.
saying someone's like ex-wife is a prostitute sleeping with somebody for $1,500 a night.
Oh, I don't think
yeah.
I don't think that originated in the boys chat.
That's what they said on
That's
the
what they
Valley.
said.
Really?
Yeah, because what
Just from his
Danny
mouth?
spilled it.
Yeah. By the way, we were Well, let's not even go there because that's
Most
like if you're a billionaire and you're paying someone that
That's what I said.
That's what I said.
That's like
1,500. What are we doing
flicking
here?
a penny at someone.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I
the
said.
It's not even a
Equivalent of-
believable lie
It's
to say about
not.
your ex-wife.
No,
It's
yeah.
not. It's
Um,
not.
Do you want to be a part of the boys chat?
Absolutely
Oh
not.
my god,
Did you ever watch that?
guys! I added Nick Viall to the boys chat. Oh
They
my
would
God.
they would kick me out.
Imagine.
Honestly,
They would.
add me.
They would.
Add me. I'd be like, you're all fucking losers.
They would kick him
Grow
out
the fuck
very
up.
fast.
I would harass Jax. He still has to be blocked.
I feel like you guys need to sit down.
I would love.
And have
I've
a
invited him
great-
on multiple times.
I think you guys should sit down and
He's
have
too
But
scared.
not in
a
front
nice
of cameras.
long. Yeah,
I think it's just really weird to block someone who's never interacted with your page.
yeah.
And this is long before I ever started covering
Were you
Bravo.
following him?
No. I found out I was blocked when like Scandal happened, and he was out there like acting like he was finally like the good guy because Tom Sandoval was the bad guy. He was one of the many people that Tom has rightfully called out for like monopolizing his trauma.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, let's get Jax on. And I was like, why can't I find his page? It turns out I was blocked. I found out I was blocked by another person in the public eye that I was this week, and I was a bit surprised about it. I'm not going to say, but
Please divulge.
I can't. I don't want to
You
call
can
it.
Everybody's been blocked by Jax. He's blocked me at least 6 times since I've known him.
Really?
Yeah. And then we'll have a hard time. He's like, I'm sorry, I blocked you.
He's never unblocked me.
Maybe you need the heart to heart.
I'd set it up.
I think it would
Set
be.
it up.
Set it up.
It would be.
Not in front of the cameras.
It'd be a little. It'd be a little contentious. A little alpha at
Would
first.
he rip off his shirt and
No.
and fake fight me in the parking lot?
Maybe
Season 1.
pre-rehab Jax.
Mm.
I'm not saying he's cured. He's got a long way to go, but like Jax has been putting in work. Not saying he's cured. Guys, relax. But I think he's putting some work in. I think it'd be nice to see you guys sit down and have a conversation.
I would love
you on his podcast and him on yours.
Yeah, sure.
Can we put that out there?
I don't need to do his podcast.
How do you feel about Jax's podcast?
I think it's pretty funny. I mean, he's such a he's such a rare human being.
Is he like calling himself out for being a red flag, or like?
Oh yeah,
is that
that's his whole thing.
the whole thing is like
Yeah.
him giving women warning signs.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Just don't date guys like me. But yeah,
Is he dating?
I don't think so. I think he's just like semi-celibate right now. I don't know. He's just trying to not make as few bad decisions as possible. He's laying low, but listen, Jax is a complicated creature. But
Him and Jesse.
yeah.
By the end of the season, you think I'm going to be like, wow, that Jesse Lawley.
I have no
He's
idea what
learned.
happened. So this is no upside for me to say that right now. Only downside, but
We don't hold you to it.
yeah. I think
We know you mean well.
It's a hell of a show.
It's a great show.
It's really
Although
good.
a lot of people aren't. Why do you think not as many people are watching it this season?
I think the ratings have been good. Critically acclaimed from what I see online.
Again, love it,
Yeah.
enjoy it. I think more people should be watching it. But like last time I checked, the ratings were down a bit.
Really?
Yeah. Now maybe more people watching on Peacock than Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Overnights aren't what they used to be. Yeah.
that's true.
It's a hell of a show.
Dude, are there any Bravo shows that you do just enjoy as a fan?
I just watched my first full season, Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Did you start with season 1? Or?
I usually just pop into any random Housewives franchise and watch like an episode or two. And then
Team Dorit, Team Sutton, Team Garcelle.
no hot takes.
Come
Damn it,
on.
I'm sorry.
Schwartz.
Just spoon feed me one.
Just who do you want? Who do
And you
like
could
the
just cut
most? Who
this
did you
out.
enjoy the most?
I really enjoyed getting to know Bose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What an
did
amazing
you-
human being.
Not like
Okay.
Who did you have a hard time understanding?
literally.
I got a little fed up with I think Sutton. Sutton became
Name it.
Yeah, Sutton is a hard watch for me. Sutton, sorry. But I mean, I love her on the show. I still want her to be on the show, but she's a hard watch for me.
Why?
I don't know. Her takes, she seems to unnecessarily insert herself in storylines that aren't, or not storylines, it's life, but in moments that aren't really relevant. I don't know. She just grates on me a little bit. There it is, my first hot take. Wait, she's going to be mad at me.
You've already apologized.
You
because
guys-
you love her on the show.
She won't even know.
Yeah.
I'll
She
just say
won't.
I forced you to do it.
Thank you. What's your guys' current favorite show on Bravo?
Summer House.
Yeah, Summer House is on
Valley.
fire right now. Valley's so good.
We're Housewives of Atlanta.
Classic, iconic.
Up next, we'll talk a little Housewives of Atlanta, and Tom Schwartz will stick around. And
Not give any hot takes, but he will be here to look pretty.
Dead weight.
Say goodbye to sticky notes and calendar confusion with Skylight. The Skylight calendar is here to keep your family organized. This beautifully designed digital display syncs with your existing calendars, making it effortless to track events, appointments, and reminders in one easy-to-see place. Nick has zero excuse now when I tell him we have this appointment or this dinner or that meeting, because it is all right there, looking aesthetically pleasing in our kitchen
our life
on our countertop.
Our life has never been more crazy. We're constantly on the go, making moves and doing things. And because of Skylight Calendar, we have been able to do that with some harmony and peace of mind.
Also, if you have older kids, you can make it fun by putting their chores on there. They can pick their own color. Maybe like Sally Lou wants to have yellow as her chore color. And then you have...
It's like, hey, you got to vacuum your room, but at least you got to read that in pink.
At least you got to read that in pink, and you can get that done with Skylight. Your happiness is Skylight's happiness. So if in 120 days you are not 100% thrilled with your purchase, you can return it for a full refund, no questions asked. Honestly, this is a great gift for anyone in your life who loves their family and who cares about organization. And if they're a Virgo, they will love it. Right now, Skylight is offering our listeners $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/VIALL. Go to skylightcal.com/VIALL for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That's SKYLIGHTCAL, if you don't know how to spell, .com/VIALL.
Parents, you know the hustle is real with work, kids, errands, and everything in between. There's rarely time to slow down, let alone having multiple steps in whatever routine yours has. As someone who still cares about his looks and wants to age gracefully, OneSkin has been an absolute game changer for me.
Their products are true multitaskers. They hydrate, protect, and support your skin's long-term health, and it's all thanks to their OS01 peptide.
Well, if you want to look like your partner who might be a little bit younger than you, OneSkin is where it's at. They will help you look young, stay young, feel young. I love it. It's really been the key to making sure people think we look good together.
OSO1 works at the cellular level to improve key aging biomarkers while reducing the visible signs of aging, including lines, wrinkles, and sagging skin. OneSkin believes the purpose of skincare is not just to improve how you look, but to optimize your skin's biology at the cellular level so it's more resilient to the aging process. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. For a limited time, you can try OneSkin with 15% off using code VIALL at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code VIALL. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Give your skin the scientifically proven gentle care it deserves with OneSkin.
Is it normal for a baby to kind of say the alphabet at 15 months? Or is she a genius? Can't really tell because that's my first kid. So like every time she does something,
we're like,
Prodigy.
fucking
Prodigy. I would be doing the
One of
same
her
thing.
kind.
But then like for all I know, maybe she's behind. I don't know.
It says around age 3, kids may recognize about half the letters in the alphabet.
she's going, A, B, C, E. That's what she does.
She's faster.
Literally. 3?
Parents will come up to us and kind of act shocked that our kid is doing what she's doing. when they
Listen,
have a
every
kid.
kid moves at a different.
That's true.
Get her on
Great.
the podcast.
Honestly, she could probably carry a conversation a little bit better than you.
At least today.
She could at least have some bigger takes.
No, I'm
Natalie.
self-aware. I'm dead weight
She definitely
today.
has bigger balls.
Should we get into some Atlanta and we can
Yeah.
hear what Schwartz has to say about it?
Take it away, babe. It's your favorite show on Bravo.
It is my favorite show on Bravo. I thought it was absolutely insane that these two ladies thought it was okay to sit down with Ralph. First of all, Ralph needs to get out of that basement. And like, he has no excuses.
We're all mad about like the whole Drew and Dennis of it all. And then it's like y'all are sitting down to a meal, but then this weird story of like, I don't know, like I wasn't told he was going to be there and he wasn't told Portia was going to be here, but somehow we knew what table to go to, who we were meeting.
But even Shamia to like want to sit down with him and her reason be like, I was on his podcast or like we did
had
a
a podcast. It
podcast
was
together. And it's like,
Now he's pitching podcasts.
Now he's pitching podcasts.
and his podcast pitches like Family Feud mix.
He's like men and battle of the sexes because I
Kings
don't know if
and
you know this,
queens.
but like men and women are not getting along.
And all I thought to myself was
Asshole.
like, this sounds like it's going to be difficult to listen to. Battle
Yeah.
of the sexes.
Shamia's response is, okay, and how are you going to sell that? Because ads is how you make money on your show.
Well, and then he said
Sells.
that Drew had an affair. So Ralph is just choosing violence.
I mean, we all wondered why Drew did not want the records out there of like why they're getting a divorce while she's sitting there airing out all of Ralph's dirty laundry, but was like, no, I don't want these out there for like our children to see.
And then proceeds to list them.
Yeah. And so Ralph being like, yeah, I guess she did. Was he saying she had an affair with Dennis or no?
No,
because Portia.
he was saying that he filed the divorce first and that she had an affair with her friend that was mentioned on the show previously.
Yeah.
But it was just mentioned as an emotional
I also don't
connection.
believe Ralph when they're like, "Did you cheat on Drew?" And he's like, "No."
It didn't count.
Who, me? Yeah.
That felt like a false denial.
Britt and Mike talking about how they walk around the house naked. Britt, I think, is probably one of my favorite housewives, I have to say.
Do
Oh,
you-
y'all hate that.
I'm an Angela stan, Britt. She's cool.
I think Angela's my favorite housewife
I love
on
Angela.
Atlanta. She seems the most. I believe her. I think she's honest.
Do you think she was right to bring up Shamia's words about Portia?
That was the most confusing fight I've ever watched happen. It was like, so did Shamia say that to Drew? Or did Drew, like, how was Angela there? Because the conversation that I saw was Kelly, Angela, and Drew.
I do have a hard time keeping up with the drama in Atlanta. I'm always like, why? Who are they mad at?
There's two different conversations. So there's the one where Drew was saying like, "Oh, I could pay for all of Portia's kids' college." That
Fucked
was,
up.
That was Shamia
Yes.
and Angela.
And Shamia repeated that exactly how it was said.
and then there was a different conversation where Shamia and Angela spoke. This was isolated, I believe, from everybody else.
And Shamia told Angela how she felt. Then Angela got with Portia one-on-one and was like, just so you know, this is
Shamia's
how
saying
Shamia
this.
feels.
Yeah.
But definitely caused more drama than helping patch things up. Because I do love that Angela's like, I like to put everybody together and I like to fix everything. She's like, so just so you know, your best friend thinks you're talking shit.
Doesn't want to be a lapdog.
Literally.
She started the fight with Shamia at the peace thing, and then she was like, "Okay, so how do you feel?
Yeah.
I just did that to get you riled up."
Listen, Shamia repeated exactly what Drew said. And like, I would also be very pissed off if another woman is saying she's gonna like send my daughter to college with the money she's making with my husband. Like,
Especially because you have
no,
your
you're
own
not.
kids.
Yeah.
You have your
Literally.
own kids.
And clearly a husband who's not helping.
And I'm also confused. So is Dennis saying that he's not sleeping with Drew, that Drew's actually sleeping with someone else, but there's a text message that Drew propositioned for free music?
Yeah. And then it seems like Dennis was like, no, I don't want you. I just want the money.
Yikes.
So then now
It's
she's hooking
confusing.
up with his friend. Because all of this was drama, was about Drew sleeping with Dennis and filming with Dennis. And now I'm like, wait, are these two separate things that we're upset about? Is filming with Dennis equally as bad as sleeping with him behind your back, if not worse? Because that's kind of what it sounds like.
Maybe.
Maybe. Portia having all of these women at her event to just like shoot content for the event was fucked up.
I thought it was hilarious.
For Drew specifically, because she was part of the campaigns and then removed from the campaigns. And now it's like, oh, just take a photo.
Yeah,
Like, come to my party, everyone. And then like we have the best photographer in Atlanta. Everyone pose with product and like this will be
That
on
is
our
crazy.
site.
where you
Like,
would normally be paid separately for that. And she was like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Put on my outfits and do a photo shoot for my brand for free. Thank you.
that was crazy.
No, what would be crazy, and they would be within every right to do, is to say, you didn't get my permission to
Mhm.
post this and have her take it down. That would
I'm
be,
sure that's coming.
Hmm.
I don't know. Cynthia Bailey already posted her like 5.
Yeah, but
slide
Cynthia is like the
carousel.
most unproblematic housewife
Yeah.
lover. But she does not want to
She loves
start any
everybody.
drama.
Yeah,
She's the Tom Schwartz of Atlanta.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for making it
100%.
relatable
Yeah.
for me.
You're right.
Wait, did they acquiesce and say, yeah, we'll shoot with your stuff and then regret it afterwards? I haven't
In like
seen
real
this.
time, I think it well, at least this is how it was portrayed or aired. It seemed like in real time, as they were like taking photos in a lingerie, they realized, oh, we're being used.
Ah,
Literally.
wait,
Because it was
that's
like, we're taking
amazing.
photos, and then it was like, get the sheets. And Portia's like posing with her hand on the sheets with all of the women around her. So,
So like, oh, we're in an Instagram ad.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of,
How would you feel about that?
I mean, that's kind of happened in a way, like, but we were aware and we consented, like with James May and Kristen Doty.
Hmm.
Like she would ask me to come model for it, and we'd be filming an episode too.
Okay.
But I had already agreed in advance. I wasn't kind of bamboozled.
What did you think of Jax stealing James May's designs?
He okay. I called him out on that, or I talked to him. He's like, I had no idea.
You
It's a
believed him?
pretty stock design, but he took it down immediately.
Can you tell when Jax Taylor's lying?
No, he's a good liar.
Well, genuine question.
But yeah,
Yeah.
no.
No, he's
Yeah.
a good liar. I believe that.
No, but he took it down immediately, and he apologized to Kristen, from what I understand.
Okay.
So
Alright.
took accountability. You guys are. I'm getting FOMO because I haven't watched.
You have to watch.
You have to. It's
Atlanta.
such a good
It's very
season.
I mean, I got to spend some time with Portia on
When?
Stars on Mars.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
She's
That was a
just-
show that really didn't take off that I was disappointed in.
I thought it like they cast. I think they're brilliant casting, and it was
You had
so
Lance
many.
Armstrong, you had Marshawn Lynch,
I'm
you
saying.
had Portia, you had Tom Schwartz.
Tallulah was on it too, right?
Love
Tallulah?
Tallulah.
Yeah.
No,
Are you guys all
Tallulah
friends
Willis?
with Tallulah?
Yeah,
Shout out
we
to
love
Tallulah.
Shout out to Tallulah.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Wait,
But,
so what did you think of Portia?
she's just a force. She just has that it factor. She has star quality.
Mhm.
When you're in her presence, you can sense it. She has like an aura. She does. You're just like, I get it immediately. And she's really funny, and she makes you feel like you've known her for a long time. She was so nice to me.
Is there a dream like wife in Bravo for you?
I mean, we all know the obvious answer.
Katie Flood.
No, I was thinking
Sorry.
Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh.
Lisa Vanderpump.
I love Lisa.
I've honestly like her less and less. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I have such a great relationship with her.
You know her better than I do. I just feel like she seems problematic, to be honest. I mean,
Lisa?
her covering for James Kennedy for so long, she seems to like really throw the women under the bus unnecessarily. She kind of, I mean, she doesn't give like necessarily role model. Maybe to some of the men. I mean, she does seem to cover for you guys quite a bit in the past. Just,
What?
you know, that's
No,
her-
wait. This is a scathing. This is not fair. I mean, wait.
I could be- tell me,
What am I missing?
what-
Is there things that have happened that I don't know about?
There's a lot of it is based around the James and Allie of it all, where she called Allie 2 months after James and her altercation went public and the police report came out, and called her 2 months later to quote unquote check on her, but then also try to convince her to get back with James.
And then reminded her that she was also drinking too.
Yeah,
Mm.
so kind of implied like maybe it was also your fault,
Oh god.
which is giving a little like don't love
About
that.
this. It doesn't
you
sound
know.
good though.
Doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Doesn't sound good.
I've only met Lisa once.
Listen.
She was very nice to me, incredibly nice.
I mean,
but like
yeah.
just some of her online persona kind of gives like, I'm too good for you.
Mm.
But you would marry her.
I mean, Jesus, I did not expect it to go in that direction.
Sorry, no more softballs. We've turned into deep, hard-hitting
Well,
questions.
I didn't ask him how he felt.
Listen.
about Lisa.
Listen. I'm a partner with her. We've always had a great relationship, and she's been nothing but a champion for me since I met her. And
Yeah.
I mean,
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
How
well,
is
no,
TomTom
I mean,
doing?
listen, she's held me accountable too when I'm a fuck up, and yeah.
That's true.
Moving on.
How's TomTom?
TomTom's doing okay. I mean, the restaurant industry as a whole in LA, it's been rough.
Yeah,
There's a-
what do you think that is? You just like the Gen Zs are just like on their phones and don't need to go out and they're drinking water and like alcohol's a new ick.
I think post-pandemic too, a lot of people are saving their money and not like going out to dinner and going out to bars and drinking the way they used to.
There's also like a health culture of like Gen Z is turning into like
green smoothies and air,
the wine instead of like the hard liquor and like
or
being
like
sober.
Yeah, but
mocktails.
there's been plenty of alcoholics who made a career off of drinking wine only.
Totally. And I think but it would just not to generalize or make a sweeping generalization of Gen Z, but yeah, they go out less. The ones who do party, at least the ones I know, they don't really go out to like, they'll maybe get a drink or two at the bars, but they go to like house parties or they go to like underground raves.
Mhm.
The ones
They're
who
having hibachi come to their backyard.
yeah. But yeah, man, the industry, it's a tough time to be a bar or restaurant owner in LA.
Yeah.
It's scary, especially if your name's on a 5-10 year lease. Oh my God.
Is that what yours is?
No, well, it was, but it sucks. By the way,
Is that completely like, I mean, I know it's been like a financial bummer,
Yeah.
but like, are you at least like done with, like, is
Yeah.
everything's done and taken care of.
totally.
It's like, you're not,
Everything's done and taken care of, and
you've
I
just like,
yeah.
now it's just an L and you moved on.
yeah. I mean, this just be like, it's so nice being able to go on like a little getaway or vacation now and not be worrying about how that's going to negatively impact my bankroll. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It wreaked
Do you-
havoc on my peace and well being.
Do you
But-
feel like you have to be at TomTom for it to?
No.
But did you feel like that about Schwartz and Sandy's? That like
Yes.
if you weren't there,
We
then it
financed
wasn't?
Schwartz and Sandy's, and we were on the lease, so yeah. But TomTom, I'm a minority stakeholder, and it runs itself.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
it's like kind of a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
It's Do you
guys want to come, TomTom?
I've never been.
I'm hosting brunch Saturday if you guys want to come. It's World Dog Day.
Sure.
And then I'm going to be hosting at TomTom if you
You're
guys want to
bringing Butters and Gordo?
Nah, they don't like big gatherings. They freak
Oh.
out. Yeah, they
So
get
do I.
social anxiety.
I just had a question because we're watching season 6, I think, of Vanderpump Rules on Plus, and they're talking about the negotiation of your deal where it was like a 10% buy-in, then it was a 5%
Yeah.
buy-in. Are you still a 5% owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yes, we are.
Or I wonder
Yeah.
if the percentage went up.
What
Yeah.
does that bankroll look like for you? Is it significant?
It's
or
not
is it-
it's not lucrative. It's just cool to be a bar owner in West Hollywood.
That is
And I
cool.
love like when I have like a business meeting or friends in town, it's great to have a place to take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the glitz and the glamour of is it financially rewarding? No.
Have you made your money back?
Technically, yes. I mean, we crushed our first year, and then we took our profits and we just parlayed them into the expansion, which was the garden at TomTom. Now it's Pump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who
You guys
do
have never been to TomTom?
I
No.
have.
Yeah.
I have not.
I like the purple butterfly drink, the Madame.
Oh, the Madame Butterfly.
There you go.
Yeah. I like to get it with no simple syrup.
Oh,
It's a little
all
sweet for me,
right.
but that's
Do
our
you watch-
best-selling
Do
drink.
you watch Love Island?
I watched my first season when Ariana was hosting.
Yeah.
That's another cast I would like to see more longevity to. I'd like to watch them on another show.
Well,
They got a
they're
show.
having a bit of a spinoff.
Oh.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
They
Is
have
it
I am
official?
curious if they have
Mhm.
staying power.
Mm.
I mean, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they shine bright and hot.
They did, but like, the big question is, can they do it on their own?
Yeah.
Because like they were the first cast for Love Island USA to make it pop, so there is that.
Yeah.
And then the question for Love Island USA with season 7 about to premiere is, will they be able to like keep that momentum going,
Mm.
or is it really just about that cast?
Yeah.
I think season 7 is gonna pop.
Who do you miss the most from Vanderpump Rules cast?
I pretty much see everybody. Let's see. Well, I haven't seen James in a long time. I haven't seen Allie in a long time. But I see Sheena.
Randall?
I see Brock.
Randall's
I saw-
crazy.
He plays pickleball.
He said everybody.
I saw Ariana at Kristen Doty's in Luke's baby shower. That was really nice.
Oh, that is
We had a
sweet.
nice little chat. She's crushing it in life. She seems so happy.
Do you agree that Luke is the best looking guy on the Valley in person?
He is good looking, but in a kind of a rugged, maybe like early
Who do you think's better
1800s
looking?
sort of way. He looks like classically good looking. Like he should have been. Like if he was in Tombstone, he would have fit right in. He's kind of got those rugged Western
Yeah.
good looks.
But that counts.
Yeah.
I know it's not. I
Is he
know
the-
it's not
wait.
like pretty boy model.
Who do you guys think's the best looking
Luke.
person on the Valley?
Luke.
It's official? Unanimous?
That's what I think. I haven't met Jesse in person, but
do you
he
think?
looks short.
If you can set aside, the things you know or your feelings about Jax, you don't think he's the best?
Oh my God, no.
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 God.
Who do you? Who's the? I'm trying to think out loud here.
I mean, like in 2025, Jax. I mean, he's a handsome guy, but the years have not been kind, and he has not been kind to himself.
Let's see.
Jesse, Jason,
Jesse,
Danny,
Jason.
Jax,
Jason, I love
and
Jax.
Luke.
Yep, Luke.
Those are
for
your
sure.
guys.
Who's the best looking? This is my hot take. Who's the hottest
You
dude on the
have to give
Valley?
one.
You met 'em
have
all
to
in
give
person.
one.
Like, who is?
Sorry, boys. I'm gonna say. Listen, Jason's a lawyer. I've always had a thing for lawyers. I'm gonna say Jason.
Okay.
I'm so impressed with like the knowledge they have. Like I wish I had a lawyer's education.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I'll pick Jason. Sorry, boys.
I have another random Vanderpump Rules question, but applicable to today. What's your technique for your hair?
Oh,
It's great.
I was like, throughout the seasons, it's different lengths, but
Yeah.
it's just like it goes this way and it goes.
it's kind of effortless. Like I like to think it's
no,
like,
there's a lot of effort.
oh,
Yeah.
really?
He doesn't touch his hair. You're able to like pull on it, and then it's still
It's very
still
malleable.
styled.
Very
Yeah,
malleable.
It is.
Flexible.
But I would be partially gray down here if it wasn't for dye. Like just
Do you
like
at home diet?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do full though.
I started doing that recently.
I leave some grays.
But like
do.
when you style it, you just put some like, and then are you just like,
Murray's pomade. It's $3 at CVS. I've been using it since 2004.
Plug.
It's the best in the business.
Just
Wow.
speaking of pharmacy, Justin actually has a story. It's near and dear to his heart. He wants to talk about.
Rite Aid is closing. Am I the only one that's sad about this?
I'm a
Well,
little sad.
I am because I've been living in LA for 10 years. But if you're not from the West Coast, you don't even know what Rite Aid is.
Well, my thing is, where are you going to get Band-Aids and ice cream?
In the same-
CVS,
in the s-
Dwayne Reed,
For like Thrifties.
Walgreens.
But Thrifties is like a specific
What
ice
is
cream.
Thrifties?
It's an ice cream that's at Rite Aid.
Okay.
Nowhere else.
And you think it's like the best ice cream ever?
If you get it fresh. But it's like crispy,
Fresh.
like it's shaped in a way that
Is
other
ice
creams
cream
aren't
ever
shaped.
really
Yeah.
fresh?
No. That's a thing.
Wait, you're the only person I've ever known in my life that's actually gone to.
Ice cream, never frozen.
You've got
Yeah,
it at one
like-
of the stands in the stores.
It's good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways, RIP.
Yeah. It's up there with Schwartz and Sandy's now.
Are you team Justin or team Blake?
Oh, with the lawsuit?
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it to weigh in. I know it
Yes,
seems
of
like a
course.
convenient, but from what I've seen on the internet, it's not looking good for. I don't know. you thought
I will not
great
say
answer.
something about anyone.
say a name at all. Don't ask him to.
It seems like it's going great for yeah.
Moving on.
we go back to Summer House for a second. Wasn't it crazy for Jesse to even pull Sierra aside and have a talk with her? Like, if you're Lexi at that point, like you're just done with the relationship. Keep in mind the relationship's already on the fence. He's like, Sierra, can we talk alone? Could you imagine if you were dating a guy and you were not sure about where things stood? He said he's loved you a few times. You've had some sex. You've had some fights. There's this friend of his that's another beautiful woman that he seems to be awkwardly like a little close with. And then he all of a sudden shows up that weekend and he's like, Sierra, let's talk.
I don't know. I think the whole thing is just weird in general. I'm assuming, I think Jesse and Lexi showing up together this week was weird.
Oh my God, the kissing in the room, even Wes like looking at camera being like, what the
fuck?
fuck is this?
that was a great fourth wall moment.
Great, great.
I love Wes. It's so funny. Yeah.
Honestly, the season of Summer House, they are kind of doing the Office style where it's like they're keeping in the looks and glances at the camera, and it just adds that like perfect.
Wes is
Yeah.
like, he at least he seems to accept the stage of life that he's in, which is like to just fuck around and have some fun, which I appreciate.
Which
Not
I-
try to be someone's girlfriend.
Jesse?
boyfriend.
No,
Wes.
Wes.
Oh.
Yeah, and even then, I thought it was funny when Wes was like offering to get Sierra something, and she was just like, "Why is he being so nice to me?" And like, he's been trying to be nice to you this whole summer. Like, you just haven't received it.
Sierra giving West the rest of her martini mix, and he was like, he was
So
like-
cute.
He went to like cheers.
But to go back to your question, I think that like I'm assuming that Jesse must have said something to Lexi. I hate saying these two names together, by the way, but I think Jesse said to Lexi that like I'm gonna have a talk with Sierra because I feel like that would have sparked something otherwise. But I'm like, I do think it's if you want to repair your friendship, then I don't think he's going about it the right way.
She seems so over it. She seems like she like agreed to like keep it going for TV because everything he says, she goes, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never saw the stakes there. To me, by the way, I only spent a brief amount of time with them from what I've seen on TV. It seems like it was just kind of a situationship, like fun-loving.
Except he was like, I love you.
Oh, see, I missed that.
Oh yeah. First
Okay.
thing in the morning.
11
Oh.
days in, he said
Oh.
he loved her.
Texting her multiple times.
Seeing the parents.
Yeah.
Compared her helping his drunk friend to getting his toe sucked. The
Yeah.
whole thing.
The toast.
Toegate.
What do you think happened in there?
I mean,
Was Emerald like just fucking constantly when you were up there?
he wasn't there when I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I stayed in his room though.
Oh, yeah,
So they're
you
like,
did.
you better, get
You
the
slept on
black
the
light
floor.
out.
Did it smell like sex?
No, it didn't. They washed the sheets for me.
You slept on the floor though.
I did one night.
Yeah.
Why?
I think
It
you
feels
slept in
good.
your suitcase.
It feels good for my back. On my back.
Your lumbar?
Every once in a while, I like to have a nice hard surface for my back.
Could get on the floor.
Yeah.
Do you do that at home too?
Sometimes I'm a floor person through and through. Like I love watching TV on the floor. Couches are
You
okay.
want to sit down?
I mean, could I? I feel like I'll open up if I can actually lay down to the floor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When was the last time you felt like someone was truly mad at you for something you did? Because I feel like a lot of people have been mad at you for things that you haven't done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Does that make
Aw.
sense?
So yeah. Let me think on that. Let me marinate on that. Probably. I mean, I don't know if I want to open up those cans of worms. Katie was really upset about that incident in Mexico with who that we referenced earlier.
Yeah.
She was very, and it made me sad because me and Katie
It
are.
wasn't real.
It wasn't real. I was like, oh my God, I've blown up my friendship with my ex-wife over this.
Is it crazy to say ex-wife?
It's so
Isn't it
crazy.
crazy?
It ages you, but also adds some like mystique, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Ooh, this guy's
Yeah.
an ex-wife.
Yeah.
What
there's
else do I
some-
not know about him?
There is some mystery.
Yeah,
behind
it does give the vibe that you've like survived like
The
trauma.
war.
Yeah,
I
like
think from the female gaze, like I don't think it's a bad thing to have been divorced. I would think that it makes you seem like you're seasoned and you are maybe more domesticated, even though it didn't end well. But you've learned a lot. You're probably at least a little bit more emotionally intelligent than the average man.
do you miss
Right.
wearing a wedding ring?
So much. That's why
Yeah.
Kyle Chan made me this.
Do you miss saying my wife?
Yeah,
Because I really enjoy saying my wife.
it's powerful.
Yeah.
It's sexy. Like, this is my wife.
Yeah.
It is powerful. It means something.
And now you say this is my ex-wife.
Yeah. I don't
Kinda
think,
also
I don't
powerful,
think I've
though.
ever. Wait, you know what's never happened yet? I've never got to be in a group setting and like, this is
Introduce
my
Katie.
ex.
Tom, how do you feel about RHONY potentially being put on pause or canceled, or there's a lot of misinformation, information. Andy's pushing back.
I
Any
mean-
thoughts, feelings, concerns?
This is stock, but it's an iconic franchise. I feel like it needs to live on maybe through different cast members or
If you
maybe go
can't
back
make-
to OGs.
If you can't make New York work, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to see some of the younger generations become housewives. And like, I don't know. I've heard murmurs of like
Like,
maybe Paige becoming a housewife.
Paige
of
and
New York.
Lindsay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would watch the hell out of that.
I would
Same.
say though, I want my housewives to be wives.
So you hate all of Beverly Hills.
Yeah. No, I want wives. I want people in domesticated relationships. I want that dynamics. Why I like the Valley so much. I want those interpersonal relationships. I want that family drama. And if you're gonna get me single people, I want them willing to date.
I will say I do like on OC Tamra and Eddie when like Tamra starts popping off and Eddie is like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. I do like that
Yeah.
dynamic.
I just don't want a group of girlfriends only talking about girlfriend drama. Either
Yeah.
date or incorporate like your dating life into the show, or give me domesticated relationships. Like
Or-
one of the two. I don't.
Yeah, I agree. Or someone who's freshly divorced or separated, who's looking to find love again. I always love that dynamic.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I think we need the OGs.
Bose
Yeah.
brought her partner on, and we got to know her partner, and we got to learn about her still, wanting to have children and that relationship. Interesting dynamic. I want more of that. Like I don't,
She said. Fights.
Yeah.
I think you need a balance of OGs and newbies.
Yes.
Because that's what every franchise had except for RHONY, where they just scrapped everybody.
If Lindsay can get her new man, baby daddy, to come on RHONY, sign me up. If not interested.
And then throw Sonia in there.
You
Perfect.
I'm not interested in Paige and Hannah, just coming on and we have the Giggly Squad for that. We don't need it for, if Paige wants to date and bring Mr. Philadelphia Eagle.
They're not together anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever man that she is dating, I would
right?
watch that,
I think she said she's single multiple times.
Tom Schwartz, are we going to get a reboot or a kickback of Winter House?
I don't know. I'd love to see it. I mean, it worked wonders for me. It's probably one of the greatest reprieves of my life. I realized that every time I went there, I was going through something like a significant
Traumatic.
moment or traumatic moment in my life.
I was really down for, if there was any spinoff that I would have voted for from Vanderpump, would have been a TomTom spinoff.
TomTom spinoff?
Yeah.
There may be,
The two of you.
once upon a Tom, there's maybe something like that happening.
Yeah.
But
But mostly because
Should've
if
used
I wanted,
Should have
Shoulda
used,
used
it. It's so good.
yeah, you should have used that. That should have been your bar name. But if you were willing to expose your dating life on a TV show, and if Tom was willing to talk about his relationship with Victoria, I would be down for that.
I would watch the hell out of that.
I would watch the hell out of that. Would you do it if they were willing? If they came to you with a proposal,
I don't think anybody wants that, but I would do it. Yeah.
people would watch it. They might criticize and roll their eyes and be like, "Who? No one asked for this." They would all watch.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
want
would
it.
do it.
I want a
Especially,
Tom Schwartz dating show.
no, nobody wants that.
I want to see you date 20
I'm
women
so
at
simple
once.
and sweet and not.
Should you be the next Bachelor?
Did I just call myself simple and sweet?
You
No,
did.
I'm not simple.
If you got invited to Bachelor in Paradise, would you go?
I mean, I'm just kind of bored. No, God, no.
Hmm.
I have so much respect. I talked to Joey about this. Joey, who was on
Former
two seasons.
Bachelor,
Yeah. I can never do what you guys do, Nick. Just
Which
like
is that.
it's such a weird, unnatural thing to be dating 30 different women at once.
It's a natural to throw drinks and women, but you do.
No way. Well,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
that was
That was a
Sorry.
little blow.
that was my stunt double.
That was a
Um,
stand-in.
But no.
I'm sorry, that was unnecessary.
no, yeah. I was,
That
oh my God.
He's
So you could do
sweating
it for like
really
Amazon
hard.
Prime or something, like Travis Kelce, and then he ended up with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This is all just for the experience.
My God. It's probably one of my biggest fears. It's the last type of show I would ever do.
Who
a
is your celebrity crush? Can't be Lisa Vanderpump.
celebrity crush? If she'll have me, I really think Charlie XCX is sexy.
She'll
My
have
God.
me.
Great choice.
If
Great
she'll
choice.
have me.
I also have a crush on Rashida Jones.
Period.
I've always had a thing for her.
Have you like slid in the DMs for anyone?
Is Charlie single?
No, I've never slid in the DMs. I'm so not a DMer.
It's how I met Nick.
Really?
You know, I have a baby.
Wow.
Now we're married.
Okay.
Maybe you should.
You've never
Test the
DM'd
waters.
anyone ever?
Not really. I mean, I was always in a relationship. Well,
Didn't
don't
stop
give me
you
that
from
face,
other
Nick.
things.
Okay, don't give me that face.
No, I'm just saying you haven't been.
No, yes. I was never like with the thing yet. Well, let's not open up that can of worms.
Okay.
Those are
I
drunken.
mean, you're right. I
sloppy,
guess when
stupid-
DMs really took off, you were in a
Yeah.
serious relationship. Yeah.
and anytime
So then then now you probably feel too old for the DMs.
totally. I mean, I talk to fans via DMs that all just platonic, fun, sweet stuff. Thanks for the love. Or sometimes people will ask me for cameos.
You've ever sent a nude?
Never. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I think it's too late in the game for me.
What would be your like angle of nude? Would you do like mirror pic or would you do like
I'd probably do like towel drop down so half is exposed. You know,
that is art.
I wouldn't have the full.
Of course not.
I mean,
Full heart.
right?
You wouldn't be.
I
why
mean,
why
you
was
posted on the
Jax
internet.
flashing the paparazzi?
I still don't fully understand that. And he was laughing about it too. He's like, I was just adjusting my junk like any guy does. But
Did he not see the paparazzi there?
No.
Mm.
I think they're almost always following him, just waiting for him to.
Literally.
I was like, time
If
for
they're
time and
smart.
place.
That made headline news. I was like, come on.
It was like in a grocery store parking lot or something.
No, it was the craziest dick grab I've ever seen.
yeah, like the whole thing was out.
Natalie.
Like no, like I
Did you
think
see his dick?
It's censored
so,
out, but it's
so
there.
blurred.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not. It just looked like he was adjusting his.
Oh my God, it was the most blurred image
It
I've
was like
ever seen.
an itch adjustment, right?
He adjusted by pulling a little lower than a normal adjustment.
Yeah, he pulled his pants down.
Really?
Yeah.
They've redacted like all photos online now, but
Oh.
Perhaps.
I don't even
it's a
think a
black
great
bar.
publicist has the power to get images scrubbed from the internet.
Well, now
Do
it's just
they?
a black
no, it's still
bar.
there. They just put a black bar instead of a blur now.
You could see his junk
I
before?
don't know if
It
a
was, like,
publicist does, but
blurred.
like money talks. I heard it takes $50,000 to scrub something off the internet.
Really?
50,000?
Oh.
That's a lot, but it's actually
But who would
not
you have to go through?
that.
I don't know.
Tom.
Look, are you kidding? That's
Oh,
the
wait.
craziest thing
Is
ever. No.
Is it-
Like, it's not like a normal adjustment.
That's not an
He's not
adjustment. That's a
adjusting.
flash.
He's flashing the paparazzi his dick.
He's pulling down his pants.
One hand is pulling, and then the other hand is pulling up
If his
shirt.
hands were
I
on
think-
his junk, and then he,
It's just a weird angle, I think.
That's
Honestly,
not a weird
Jax is
angle.
not someone who's going to whip out his private
But
parts.
he
in
literally,
public.
that is a photo of the thing you
That
said is not
literally
possible.
a photo of him whipping out his private parts in
He's
public
pulling down his pants. Like,
and
Tom,
pulling up his
Tom,
sweatshirt.
if he was this,
That's what I think.
scratching,
it is.
but that's
What
literally
is
not what is happening there.
I'm watching your
Their
eyes try to
skin.
find a way to explain this,
Their
but you
skin.
can't.
I don't know.
There's like a.
Their
What did your
skin.
spiritual healer say?
What would Jacqueline say?
That's funny. Well, I don't know. The guy's not fondling himself in public. It was clearly an accident. I
feel like that does it for this episode.
You got to get into Karen Reed. Do you not true crime it much?
I love true crime, but I don't. Can you give me a little? After we get off air, we can.
So you didn't see that clip?
No.
Yeah.
I posted it.
Karen Reed is currently on her second trial for being charged with murdering her Boston cop boyfriend, hitting him with her car, and leaving him in the snow to die.
I've seen the headlines.
Mhm.
Have you guys done a deep dive?
Natalie's
I have.
diving so deep. I've recently got into it. Natalie had me convinced of her innocence. I was like, I've seen it Departed. I know cops can be crooked.
And now he's turning on Miss.
It's not. I
They
just, there's the difference between like a bunch of. I just like we do live in a time where internet theories. I mean, let's be honest. Like Karen Reed's, like the Save Karen Reed movement was started by a guy online named Turtle Boy, and I just think it's when it comes to like her innocence is more salacious than her guilt. Like the idea that a bunch of cops would get together and cover up a murder is just like a more salacious story, and that's why I think a lot of fans are leaning into that more salacious story. But when you break it all down, like it's way more believable that she did it.
Is this a documentary or a podcast or both? Or which one?
I'm sure there's billions of podcasts talking
Okay.
about it.
There's a
there's
docuseries on Max, Body
Yeah.
in the Snow.
There's also one in Hulu, I
Okay.
believe.
We watched the one on Max, and I'm basing a lot of my opinions off of that documentary and then my wife.
And the second trial is live right now on
Currently
Law and
going.
Crime YouTube.
I don't think she should be convicted because I don't think the state has done enough to prove her guilt. There's a
Mhm.
lot of like reasonable doubt and just bad police work, but
Was he an abusive POS or something? Was it an act of passion, retaliation, or self-defense?
she seems to have a history of being a little toxic and a little reactive.
Oh
I don't think we know enough about
Yeah.
him.
The,
no, I don't know.
He
I'm
seems like
asking you guys.
he
The,
seems like a good
the
guy.
date for BravoCon was just announced. Are you gonna go?
I
and
hope
crash
so.
The party?
I hope so.
Is that something you get invited to, or
Yeah.
you do?
Like you've been invited post end of Vanderpump.
Have
It
I?
hasn't existed.
I've
since.
never missed a BravoCon since they started.
Oh.
But
What does one expect at BravoCon?
oh
What's it
my
like?
god, it's honestly it's all the different shows from the Bravoverse colliding, coming together, and just seeing all the different casts, how they interact, and just hanging out afterwards. It's kind of magical. It's like going to Bravo camp,
Oh.
Bravo summer camp.
Or like a music festival for Bravo fans.
It really is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I personally will go and hang out with people. I'm not like I'm meeting fans and say, meet me here and we'll hang out. But like, I make it a point to go out and be accessible and hang out with everybody, which in the past has worked to my detriment.
How so?
No, just like not having healthy boundaries,
Sure.
just giving too much of myself over. I don't mean like sexually or anything inappropriate, but just being way too available for people to hang out with.
Yeah.
Getting like and following them on Instagram, getting their number, which I never call them, but yeah, I used to get reprimanded for that a lot. And I'm like, you have a point. I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be giving out my number to multiple people a night.
That you don't know.
But it's just like, man, they're like, we just got married. We would love to grab a drink with you. And in the moment, you're like, yeah, I'll take my number.
That's crazy behavior, Tom.
I know. I don't do
When was
it
the last time you
anymore.
changed your number?
I haven't changed my number since I got it in 2004.
You should do that.
Yeah.
Nick just recently made me change mine.
Really.
Yeah.
Tom, it's always good to see you.
Dude, I love it, you guys.
Please plug your podcast.
You guys, Podcast One, wherever you download, get your podcasts, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, whatever. But it's called Detox Retox. Every Tuesday, new episodes. We're making magic over here.
Okay.
It's been really fun. And I appreciate all the love and positive feedback lately. It's been really solid.
Don't expect any shit talking.
I mean,
Do not
it's
expect
very
1 ounce of shit
experiential
talking.
and it's raw, but shit talking, hot takes, not so much. That's what you tune into the Viall Files for.
Yeah. Mhm.
Not this episode.
Team Sierra.
Eventually.
Did we get one hot take?
Thanks for listening, guys. Do not forget to tune in tomorrow for an explosive Going Deeper with your newest member of Mom Talk and the Secret Lives of Mormon Whites, which does premiere on Thursday, season 2 on Hulu. Check it out, but you will not want to miss this Going Deeper episodes. It's explosive. It's wild. And then Demi and Brett return. Well, Brett's first time, but the drama unfolds. A lot of. I mean, honestly, it'd be fascinating for you guys to unpack a lot of serious fights, relationships, a lot of accusations being thrown out in this world, and it's a lot to unpack, but we try our best to do it. And that's all starts tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.